moments when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the last light. Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of a world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. But you always knew that you'd be the one that would while they all play. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream.
from the
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TCL Week. Tonight is the big semifinals match between Life for Appa and the Chess Club. Joined with me on the desk today is Sir Aaron. Sir Aaron, how you doing, man?
I am doing wonderful, Avon. How are you tonight?
Hey, you know, life is good. I'm ready for an absolute banger of a series. These playoffs have been incredible. I've been having a great time every single day. Tonight we got Life for Appa and we got the Chess Club. We just saw them play, I believe, Thursday. Wouldn't necessarily say a questionable series. Either team definitely could have worked it out there. They took the win. They're moving onto the semifinal round. What do you think is going to happen tonight?
Yeah, you know, I think the Chess Club showed a new look for them. I haven't seen that kind of play. The comeback they had in Game 3 was really impressive. But I think Verd is the word is a very different team than Life for Appa. I think they have a very, very tall task in front of them, and I don't know how they're going to match up, especially if we see the consistent performance that we have seen from Life for Appa. So I'm really curious to see how Game 1 will go, because I think that's going to dictate how the rest of the series will go today.
I think so too. If you're joining us here in chat, this is the semifinal match, technically the finals match of the losers bracket. This is a double elimination bracket. If you are new watching TCL for the first time, we're in amateur league, group of friends, great group of guys, playing League of Legends everywhere between kind of the gold rank and maybe about high diamond. And we have the three best remaining TCL teams that are going to be playing tonight, and the winner's going to go on to play Team Monkey Brains in the final tomorrow. So we're all certainly really excited, and a lot of folks, including the two guys on this cast, have been eliminated from the tournament. So we're here, no stake in the game, just watching. Betting is not allowed. It's totally against the rules. So definitely don't do it. I can't catch you if you do, but definitely don't do it.
Yeah, and one of us on here on the cast obviously maybe had a little bit more fun with their playoff than the other one. But yeah, obviously.
I don't think you had any fun with any kind of playoff.
Yeah,
because there wasn't one.
True. Yeah. Well, for one of these teams, there won't be one by the end of the night. And you know what, Abraham, why don't we go about this? Let's do some predictions, right? We all like to predict. Let's see how this is going to go. How do you think we are going to have this series pan out? Who's going to win, and in what map count?
Well, I think to do that, we have to talk about matchups first. In the top lane, we've got Mr. Lyle Walt, the Diamond 2 top laner, against Music X, who, he might have been called the Mr. Irrelevant of TCL, at least during the draft. Now he's solo killed basically every player, including Bloodbath and Beyond, one of the other best players in here. And so I don't really know what to expect here. I know they'll put Music X on a tank, and they'll basically try to have him sort of be left alone while they try to make things happen bot side. The Tranimal versus Rook Stout, the captains of both of these teams in the jungle. The Tranimal is kind of the high impact player. He plays a lot of these carries. Obviously, he plays the Udyr when he has to, but at the end of the day, you can see that every time they play, they're gonna play around this guy. Rook Stout, actually a completely different style. Rook Stout goes and he plays a lot of these tanks and supports. He plays the Ivern. Everything Rook Stout does is to benefit his team. So we'll see what style works out here tonight. I will say the Tranimal will have the advantage, and the whole team's going to be playing off of him. PictoChat versus Wojtek. If you're new to this league, it's not Wojtek, but we do like to call him that sometimes. This is going to be a little bit of a wash in the mid lane. Wojtek likes to play a lot of these scaling mages, and he doesn't really interact a whole lot in the mid lane. And he shows up and kind of picks up triple kills in the middle of the game. That's sort of the way that he plays the game. PictoChat is an interesting player. Basically every time he plays the Corki and the Azir, and his whole thing is just to kamikaze into the enemy team and start these team fights, and he almost always dies at the start of each fight. So I don't know if there's really anything to say here. It's really just like whose style plays to the best for their team. Frankly, PictoChat's kamikaze works great for his team. So I don't think you're going to see either of these players be the impact. I think what you're going to see is that someone effectively they're going to be playing for the win conditions on both sides. Chaos Storm versus Luciv. Luciv is the clear carry of the team on that ADC position. I think we know which way that goes. And then Bush League versus Droid, both very, how would you say? I'd say at minimum experienced support players. Obviously, the bot lane advantage does go to the chess club. What I'll say is I think the game advantage here goes to the Life for Appa. I think that they have a better team composition. I think they play better around the Tranimal. They play a faster game. That's going to be my prediction here. And we'll see how these picks and bans shake out to actually, follow the strategies these guys want to run.
Yeah, I think I would have to definitely agree with you with how the scope of the game would go. I would probably give the edge to Left Alpha too. But speaking of the draft, we've had 3 80 carry bans there for the side of
The triple ban.
Yep,
The triple ban.
Again. And then we've got the Urgots, we got the Udyr, and the Seraphine there for Team Chess Club. And we've got a pretty good draft so far. We got the Kai'Sa, Sivir, Gnar, Azir, as we said, the Kamikaze mid with the Thresh, and now we have a Malphite lock in as well.
I want to call out that Malphite. I think it's a brilliant pick into this Azir. The thing is that you need someone like if Picto is going to play Azir, in his whole thing is at the start of each fight, he's just going to basically flash in and like try to scoop the entire team up with that stream of shuffle. You want someone who can easily get back over there and cause disruption while the rest of the team is trying to get their bearings and hopefully kill the Azir who's in the middle of their team. The Malphite is a champion that can do that. Kai'Sa also, basically Kai'Sa, like the way that interaction works is that if Kai'Sa gets scooped with the ult, as long as the Azir is still there, she can auto attack the Azir and jump back to the other side of it really quickly. Any good Kai'Sa player is going to be able to do that. So I will say interesting on the 3 ban. Like I agree with the triple ban. Luciv isn't the most experienced Kai'Sa player, but Kai'Sa is also one of the best ADC champions right now. And so if you're going to throw 3 bans on an AD and still end up with the enemy AD getting Kai'Sa, to me, it doesn't feel like that's that valuable of a strategy. I don't know. That's just my opinion. These guys obviously have done the math.
Yeah, and I think it also adds to how they first picked the Sivir, right? I think it obviously speaks to how Chaos has played Sivir in almost every single TCL game. But, I mean, if they were just doing that, maybe because since they were worried that Luciv could have taken it away, I guess. But I also don't know if I agree with the Kalista ban. I haven't seen Luciv play Kalista. I know it's a very difficult champion to play as well. It does pair well with the Thresh, obviously. But hey, I mean, maybe they are scared of the Kalista. If they banned Kai'Sa there, I think it would have been a lot better, because I would have loved to see Luciv's Kalista. But for the second round of bans, we've got the Kindred and the run-in champion that I can't remember with this big scythe. Then we've got Ari, and we've got
the run-in champion.
Couldn't remember his name offhand. And then we've got Oriana there with the Rammus again for Rook Stout.
The Rammus right here. This is a very tanky team. In this meta, I always get a little bit scared whenever I see a Malphite, a Rammus. Frankly, I sit here and I say, why doesn't Bush just play Trundle? That is what it is. The problem is that you're basically going to put whether you win or lose this game onto one person. That works against a lot of teams, but here's the thing: is if the Gnar is going to be big, if the Elise is going to be big, Sivir is definitely Chaos's best champion. Like, for this team comp, if you go and you scoop the Kai'Sa and she dies, it's over. And we almost saw that a couple times with Bloodbath and Beyond's team, where they would go and kill Luciv because Luciv stepped way too far up and tried to make a silly play, and the team fight is just completely scrapped from that point on. So all I'm saying is that if there's a team who knows how to get on top of Luciv and shut that playstyle down, it is definitely Life for Appa here.
Yeah, we'll have the Syndra there as the final pick for Wojtek. And with these 2 comps, it is very obvious, obviously, what all these teams are playing for, right? You've got the tanks on the top side there for TCC with the 2 carries in the mid and AD carry. As we've seen, all of their wins were off the backs of Wojtek and Luciv. But for Life for Appa, you've got the kind of power of the Azir with the early game strength of the Elise that can also help out the Gnar. And then hopefully, you have your Sivir just safely scaling and playing up, and hopefully you can have some roams around the map there for Bush League.
Yeah, well, and this is the one thing, like the problem with, and I do agree with these bans. The problem with not getting Sivir off the table is that that is going to be the champion they're going to want to pick to enable the rest of this team. And like the way they play is they just dive. They just go super hard. They use that Sivir ult. They're going to immediately have Leona drop everything, and they're going to go on to one person every single time. It's a great way to team fight. And again, if anyone can take advantage of this kind of only front to back style play and just get into the back line, it is this Life for Appa team.
Right. And so talking about these compositions, how do you think they both drafted to maybe their strengths, and also how do you feel that maybe who drafted better here for game number one?
I guess it depends what you mean better. I mean, it's like very dependent on their strengths. Like the thing about like Rammus and Malphite is like they're two of the simplest champions in the game. They don't do a whole lot, but the things they do really well. I think the question is like, for example, can the Sivir see the Malphite ult coming and get the spell shield off as it's midair? If the answer is yes, then the whole kind of strategy around the comp goes away. And so where I'm left with right here is it is going to be an execution thing. It's hard to like say whether the chess club's draft is good or bad. It's the way they play every single game. They're going to pick a tank top. They're going to pick a tank jungle. They're going to put something in the mid lane who can like apply decent early pressure and like show up around the map. And then they're going to put the carry onto the Kai'Sa. And so if they can find the right team fight moments, I think the chess club had a great draft. If unquestionably, as I said with Life for Appa, they have the dive. They're gonna try to bypass these tanks and just kill the backline. If they can do it, they win the game every time.
Right, and I do think I like how Life for Appa has maybe adapted to the draft with what they saw in round one. I really do like the Elise. If we do maybe figure out how I would like this game to go, right? I think the Malphite into the Gnar is probably favorable for the Malphite eventually, since he can just stack the armor. But early game, he's gonna have no pressure. He can't walk up to the Gnar ever. He's just going to be very, very weak. Now, if Lise just camps top, gets Lyle ahead, this game will be very, very different, right? Knowing how Malphite top usually goes, if we see the Elise maybe more project on the top side, let's Picto Chat scale up, and then once the Gnar actually has couple kills there, Malphite's going to be useless, might be able to affect the mid lane, and then if Picto can just go even against the Syndra, doesn't maybe get ganked there by Roxanne, I think it's going to be just an absolutely dominant game there from Life for Appa.
Yeah, I think that's going to be important. Actually, something really interesting I want to call out about both of these teams is that like the Tranimal wants to play through topside. It's where he knows he has like the most agency is how I'm going to say that. Like, and so he's going to play almost exclusively through topside, whereas like the Malphite right now is being picked to exist and to live and to survive. And so this Rammus is going to basically live at the Dragon Pit, take that. I mean, hopefully can find some kind of invade. I don't know how easily Elise kills Rammus early game. But you can bet he's going to be lane ganking bot. I think he's going to be trying to find those mid ganks onto the Syndra stuns. And it's going to be this really interesting thing where basically you're going to see who wins, the very strong top side or the very strong bot side. And it's like this yin and yang as they like move around the map across each other. And I'm going to say that I think Life for Appa wins this game. I think they can execute with the Elise pick and some of this early game that they have topside while having the Azir and the Sivir to sort of like keep them in the game.
Yeah, I think I would definitely agree. A lot of what TCL comes down to is that execution point. And I think just simply knowing how these teams usually play out these comps, Malphite is much different than seeing a Cho'Gath or a Volibear top, especially when you're playing into a Gnar and Elise combo. And I don't think it's going to be able to withstand it, especially knowing how he went against Blood's team on Thursday, because he would overstep sometimes, and he won't have that option to ever overstep, since if he does, he will get absolutely taken advantage of.
To say the least. I think he absolutely will. Yeah, we got the invade coming here from the Tranimal, trying to get the ward onto the red buff. That is a very classic ward right there, because you see when the Rammus shows up, and you can be pretty sure that he's going to be going topside for the gank or potentially through mid, and you just sort of cheat towards the bot side. So we've seen a lot of teams going from that ward, and it's for very good reason. Yeah,
and we did see the response word there placed by the Syndra on their own Raptor. So if in case there's any early game invade, which you would hope to expect to see from an Elise, they will be able to see that out and hopefully maybe even rotate to punish.
Yeah, it sounds right to me. Right here, music's going to help with the pull. That's a-okay because his goal is just to let this lane push towards him at the beginning of the game. We are seeing the Comet come out from the Malphite. Very common, I'd say, probably 60 to 70% of Malphites are using that Comet in general, especially against a ranged matchup. It's pretty exclusively the only thing that you can do. And so he's going to sit there and do as you do with the Malphite, where you wait for your mana flow band to come up. And you go and you just poke every time it's up and let it push into you, and hopefully you get enough CS and you stay in the game. And that's going to be his goal through this lane phase.
Yeah, and really the only other 20-30% of the time you would see grass, and obviously you can't really walk up to the Gnar ever because he's just going to outrange you. If you try to walk away, he'll just jump on top of you, slow you down with his Q. So yeah, he has to go for the Comet here if there's and hope that he could just withstand. But we'll have to see how he decides to play this lane out, knowing that his jungle is topside and knowing that there's probably going to be a lot of pressure there from Elise.
Yeah, there sure is going to be right here. The Elise actually coming in and looking for an invade. I believe she's trying to grab this blue buff. If our camera can watch the blue buff, please. Thank you. Yeah, he's going to be able to get that blue buff. Oh, actually, it resets, unfortunately. The Rammus able to see that, I think, through the Bush League, presumably, who roamed up and actually called that out. So the Rammus is going to be able to vertical jungle and grab the enemy blue buff right there for the trade. I'm interested to see how that actually got called out.
Yeah, I do think it was also interesting that PintoChat roamed down to assist the Elise. I'm not sure if maybe they were trying to give that blue buff early over to the Azir, but unfortunately with the reset, that's going to burn a lot of time. That also allows the kind of vertical jungling now to occur from Brookstone on the top side.
Music actually, if he collects this whole wave, and I don't know if he'll be able to, but he actually will be up in CS, and that happens sometimes when you're trying to poke a little bit too hard on those range matchups. But yeah, he's keeping it in CS. He's doing a really good job of making sure that wave pushes in on him. And it looks like the Rammus is going to get caught here, topside. Yeah, Rammus is going to get caught coming out because Lyle was so pushed up, but not ultimately going to lose anything for it, it seems.
Yeah, with the prime with the two lanes there from Wojtek and Music X, Lyle will not be able to really do too much, especially with his jungle and Vayne there on the bot side. So maybe he can just scare our folks out from that top scuttle, but yeah, I'll have to be a little careful here.
Sometimes all you got to do is walk at him. I hear the Tranimal showing up because I think he wants to be a part of this little scuttle play. He says, "Don't leave me out, guys." He comes across mid and finds himself a little punch in the mouth from the Syndra as a result. Nothing that's going to get him too low, but the Syndra just says, "Don't gank my lane."
Yeah, and funnily enough, with the reset there of the bot side blue buff, we will have Trundle actually behind in camps, which is not what you would want to see from a Rammus into Elise matchup. But hopefully, now with Elise taking that top scuttle, she'll be able to maybe get just the wolves there from her top side and hopefully start to actually build her own camp advantage there.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. It is not often that an early game Rammus is going to be up on camps, and he's looking for the invade, but of course the Raptors are gone here. Oh man. Well, you know what? He will get the Cubs, the Krugs as his retribution right there. Right here, the gank is coming through. The hook is going to get found. Chaos Storm does not have his spell shield. Really good play there from the Chess Club. Good hook follow up here. Rookstout has to get out. He's running a little bit slow, a little bit lower than he'd like to be, and ultimately they're going to trade flashes jungle to ADC.
Yeah, it was a really, really well timed spell shield there from Chaos Storm, obviously making sure that he was in front of Bush League. Since if Bush League was hooked, there was probably a good chance that he would have died, or had to at least burn all of his flash, and then maybe have died there as well. But we will have Trundle on top side, maybe looking for a potential dive, or maybe just have to taking the Krugs and getting reset off.
Well, again, Music is doing such a good job. If Music was half HP from taking the wrong trades, you might see something like the fact that they could go for that dive because he's half HP even with the flash up. Not going to be necessary. He's still full HP even though he's used up all of his mana here. He's got biscuits. He's full HP. He's actually just standing. Oh no, never mind. Oh, that is going to be Bush League is going to take that in. I don't think. What happened there? I don't think that was intentional.
No, what happened was Luciv took the lantern as Bush League keyed on him. He was brought along to the journey, so they will have the flash burn there from Bush League to get away. George tried to flash forward, but unfortunately, all of his abilities were down. I don't remember if he tried to flay at all, but yeah, it will just be a trade of flashes at the end of the day.
Wojtek coming through, gonna charge up some of these orbs because they're gonna be looking for this dive. This is a low Sivir right here on Chaos Storm. They got 4 people. It's gonna be ready. Just go in and grab it, and oh my god, all the damage. First blood goes over to the Kaisa. That's gonna be a big first blood there. The second kill also gonna go to the Kaisa. This is gonna be one big Void Lady right here. Wojtek finding his kill. He says, you know what, you can't have all of the glory here. I need a little something to go back to mom. Mid lane with great play, great team play, aggressive there, and there's not really anything to show for it on the other side of the map.
Yeah, is this TCS or is this TCL or is this LCS? That was a actually really incredibly set up pre-level 6 dive there from the chess club. They had the TP there from top side to assist when Lyle TP'd in. It was an incredible roam down there from Wojtek. I don't know if they had any idea that they were getting dove. And I mean, the abilities were just perfectly used, right? Kaisa gets the first blood there. I'm not sure who picked up the kill onto the Thresh, but I mean, that was actually just really incredibly done there from chess club.
And I can tell you right now, you know, Tranimal's up here. He takes the red buff. He's like, it's all right, guys. We got the red buff. Even trade. The result is it's not an even trade. And in fact, as the Mel fight comes back up, you know, he's not really going to lose a whole lot of minions as a part of that. Obviously, this is going to be a big moment for Lyle, who is a level down only because there's this gigantic wave pushing in. But yeah, look at the Mel fight. You know, TP's down first. They find a beautiful, beautiful team play, and he's going to come back and really not be that far down.
Yeah, I think this is going to set the pace for the rest of the series, and obviously for this game, right? I think that kind of pressure that you're going to put on, especially when you're building that kind of slow lead there in the bot lane, is going to show that, hey, we are here to win. We are going to pressure you, even though we, you know, maybe have some disadvantages there in the top side in the jungle. We're going to work off what our strengths are, and we're seeing that right now with how they're just always playing around elusive. And this is a team that I think has just improved so much over the course of the season. It's going to be very exciting to see maybe what other tricks they have up their sleeve in this series.
Yeah, I will say their style of play is a little bit one-trick pony, but what they've done is, as a team, they have gotten extremely, extremely good at playing that style. Oh, by the way, Tranimal coming up, looking for this gank. Lyle doesn't even want to follow it up. A nice little dodge here from Musicex, who's just going to throw the Seismic Shard and walk away. Hopefully do a little dance, run a little mastery. You know, you're going to have to put a lot more pressure on this guy to make up for what's going to happen to your bot lane with this Kaisa with 2 kills.
Yeah, hook there will miss there from Droid, but we did not have the Mega Gnar for Lyle Welt. Ultimate was up also from Musicex, so even if he did get rooted by the Cocoon, probably would have been able to get away no issue.
Yeah, Music, blood call out in chat. Music doing a really good job. I cannot help but agree. The man has the Bramble Vest. He's doing exactly what he needs to. He's probably going to get the hell pressured out of him this game, and he's handling it gracefully, to say the least.
Yeah, and obviously getting that assist there from the TP from Lyle. I mean, he's probably doing better than I was expecting him to do this.
We've got a gank coming in. The Tranimal coming in through the side. Luciv going to get caught here, but will it matter? It looks like it won't because of the really, really nice from Droid. That's what's so awesome about the Thresh. Meanwhile, the Syndra is going to find the Azir here in the mid lane. The Syndra is going to find the Azir in the mid lane, Mr. Camera Operator. Thank you here. The ult did go down, and Wojtek got pushed with it. The question is he going to be able to find that last piece of damage? Looks like it's not. His stun is back up. That's really important for him. Is he going to actually die? Oh, and Rookstout goes in. He finds the smite onto it. He gets the kill. At what cost? I think he could have just gone and killed the Elise there and no one had to die. But the man is bloodthirsty, and I got to say I respect it. Unfortunately, they're going to take a death for it as a result. Yeah, you're thinking the same thing as I am, right? That Rammus should have just gone in and killed the Elise.
Potentially, yeah. I think he was dead regardless, right? Maybe trying to pick up that, maybe try to go for one extra kill. But I also do think it's very, very important to note that Wojtek has Ignite. He did not use Ignite when he threw down the ultimate there onto PictoChat, and PictoChat would have died with that Ignite, which means Rookstar would not have had to dive under tower, burn his flash, and then die. So maybe a little bit of a misplay there.
Repeat gank here coming in from the Elise. The cleanse is up from Luciv, though, and so what's really important is that whatever that first CC that he gets hit with, it's not going to be again. Oh, great flash right there. Droido, wait, going to be able to get out of that. He's tanky, but is he tanky enough? He is not. Bush League going to throw absolutely everything down. Rammus coming in from the back, and can they turn it around? This is a 2v3. They still have all the spells and abilities they need. Bush League no longer the tanky beast that he was before with that W up. Ultimately, looks like it's not going to be anything good here for the chess club. PictoChat comes around the side just to support the team. Interestingly enough, doesn't actually want to take the fight. Maybe they're concerned that someone else is there. But the Wojtek was not going to be able to match that roam. So curious if something a little more aggressive could have happened there for the side of Life for Appa.
I definitely would have loved to see them go for that 3v2, right? We did not have any mana there on the Sivir. Bush League also did not have any mana, and Elise just isn't that tanky. So with how Rook Stout was, also with the strength that Kaisa is right now, I would have loved to see them go for it. But because of the realm down there from PictoChat, I think that fight would have gone on long enough to where he would have been able to turn the fight. So
this is mid lane. The stream of shuffles come through. Wojtek is going to get caught to the other side of that, but call an ambulance. Oh! Call an ambulance for Wojtek! Oh no! That's absolutely disastrous! He uses the stun and it does a 7-10 split, except the bowling ball, aka the Azir, was in the middle. We're gonna have the repeat here coming in for Rook Stout. Oh no, he looks for the kill, but PictoChat not gonna get caught shopping. He uses his Shuffling Sands to dash out. Meanwhile, we have a 2 versus 1 with Music X, the Malphite in the top side. He's got a little bit of tankiness, but will it be enough? I don't think so. He flashes over the wall. No one here to catch him out, and Rook Stout is just going to go for the execute right here.
Yeah, I guess that's
I don't know what I'm watching.
You're watching a party there. Definitely a party. Maybe more of a... I think we're getting to that Fiesta stage, but I think, I guess he'll be happy with getting the execute and not maybe getting killed off there by PictoChat with that dive. I guess he'll take away a wolf for his trouble, but it was a very, very close play, right? I think that was a great shuffle there under the tier 1 tower mid lane. Wojtek almost got the kill back. Also, still has Ignite. Did not use Ignite to kill PictoChat. I think PictoChat would have died there with the gank if Ignite was used. So I really don't know why Wojtek's just not burning his summoner spells. But it was a really, really close fight nonetheless.
I'd like to see a couple more of these put together team plays and shot calls from Rook Stout here on the chess club in a little less of these drive-by shootings that keep happening where he tries to dive 1v1 under tower the low Azir. But it sounds like maybe we have a chance to get that right here with this dragon. The Leona has roamed mid, might have found an ult. We didn't see it, but ultimately I think they're trying to make something else happen because we got a nice uncontestable dragon here from the chess club.
Yeah, I think Leona just maybe rolled up to try to look for something while the chess club was doing that dragon. They will be on 2 dragons now, with the Infernal Soul being the flavor of this game. But yeah, I think it also is really important to note that a lot of the at least actually we just missed a kill there from Wojtek going down.
I want to know what he was doing right there. Presumably he was looking for the roam bot side. You don't really get to roam into an Elise's jungle like that. That's one of the things. We got to fight top lane here. We got Gnar has jumped into the Malphite. Yeah, ultimately, wow, a lot of damage actually done there by Music X. Of course, he's going to heal up a little bit as he transitions into Mega Gnar. Wondering once this guy turns back into Mini Gnar, I wonder if Music X just ults him. That's kind of what I want to see happen.
Yeah, I think he'll need a little bit more damage. Actually, when Mylel throws down his ultimate there, we'll actually need to push Music X.
Yeah, well, he did it. Unfortunately, he took all the damage first. It's not good. Oh! Find the kill right before he dies! 2 of the minions right at the very end there. Music X could have done it. I told you he could have found that fight had he not given up that much at the start of it. But ultimately, Music X still find the 1-for-1 on the Diamond top laner. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit impressed still.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think he has enough damage there with how much HP is left. But I guess he does, right? Ultimate does a lot of damage. He has the Bramble Vest to tick down there. And, I mean, hey, 1-for-1 I think is definitely favored for Music X with how he's been doing so far, especially now Lyle will be on 2 deaths. Another soul kill there added on for Music X now, so you do have a TP there to assist with the Rick take.
Sure do. Wojtek here getting a little bit caught out. He is very slow. Lyle walks in running 100 miles an hour on the Gnar. He's going to look to jump over this wall, finds the auto attack for the kill. Bush League comes in, finds the Eclipse, whatever the heck it's called, the big ult that does a lot of stun time, and they find that kill in the enemy jungle. They're going to be able to turn this into the Rift Herald, hopefully. Meanwhile, Lucid does find the turret bot lane, but again, the question is was it worth what they lost for it? And I would say potentially not.
Yeah, we finally have Bush League landing his ultimate there, resulting in a kill onto the Rammus. And also, it was great flash there to follow up and kill off Wojtek. But yeah, I think this definitely favors the Life or Oppo team. Getting that Rift Herald can allow them to use that pressure to either crack that mid lane tower, or even throw that up to hopefully get Loud back in the game somewhat more.
Yeah, completely here. That's going to be a very, very necessary objective. If we can go back and see some drag timers, I'd be interested to see when this next Infernal comes up and what it's going to mean for both of these teams.
Yeah, 2 minutes there. We're spawning on the third dragon. This would be soul point for Team Cheska, and I think this is the definite win con they want to play to. A fed Kaisa with Infernal Soul is going to do a lot of damage, especially if you have that Malphite ult coming over the top.
Ooh, Bush League, or rather Rook Stout going. They're going to find the hook onto the MEADC, but they don't really have a whole lot of follow-up damage. This is a 3 versus 4. PictoChat's going to go in, try to find the Shurima Shuffle. The Flash is going to come out from the Rammus to make sure he doesn't get caught up with that. Ultimately, good getaway there from the Chess Club. I think they probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. These guys are just going to barrel down mid. Bush League going to use the flash. Luciv with the mechanics goes and uses that Gale Force to get out of that Leona E. Ultimately going to survive that. They're going to look to wave clear. Question is will the turret go down? It looks like they're going to have the damage, and this is going to give them the priority that they need to get onto this dragon coming up here in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, Jordan will take that down to make sure there is no second shoves there onto that tier 2. But yeah, I mean, they look for a potential pick, but didn't realize how many members of Life Opera were there. So they had to run away, burn some of their spells. PixelChat tried to go for the flashy play, but with all of the pressure that they now dish back there onto Chess Club, that means they can take down that tier 1 in the mid lane. There's a little more room to operate there on the map. And right now we've only got about a relatively close game here with a 1k gold lead there for Team Chess Club. But looking forward into how we want to look out the rest of this game. Obviously, we still have the Kaisa being left on her own to farm there on the bot side, with just hopefully more pressure there trying to be applied from Tranimal and Lyle and co. How do you see the rest of this game going with how the Dragon priority has gone? And do you think that Life Hop will be able to maybe, with the kind of advantages now they're trying to build in these team fights, do you think they'll be able to stop the Dragon stamping?
Well, we know exactly how the Chess Club intends how to play these games. Well, yeah, it almost looked like they were going to get caught out. Really nice TP timing from the Malphite to find that. They need to win off these dragons, and they make no mistake. They tell you what they're doing. When you're playing against the Chess Club, you may as well have vision of their entire jungle. They tell you what they're doing, but they do it well. And so they're going to be trying to find these front-to-back team fights and hopefully peel off kind of this like Lyle Bush League engage off of the front line to get the damage on the people that matter the most. The Dragon is going to get started here from Life for Appa, and they've got this nice little front line here. The Gnarl is going to find only 2 people. I think he wanted a little bit more. It looks like he's going to get blow up right at the very beginning of this fight. Music Apps with the Malphite going to take a lot, and huge Shurima shuffled right there from PictoChat. Going to hit a lot of people, but is it going to kill a lot of people? The question is, will it? It did! Luciv still alive on the back line. Both of these carries, if you could say anything about these tank players, they know how to tank for their team and keep their carries alive. Fortunately, everyone else is dead. This is going to be a 2v2, and I think both of these teams are going to want to stay here. All of the damage goes on to this poor Sivir, who, whether she had a spell shield or not, was going to die. PictoChat here on the end. Is there going to be enough damage to find it? Wojtek with the stun at the very end of the fight. Beautiful, beautiful play from the Chess Club. It looked like it wasn't going their way with that Shurima shuffle, but they brought it back through at the last couple moments of that fight, and they found it with their 2 carries who stayed alive.
Yeah, super well played. Unfortunately, the Gnar ult only caught 2 members, Droid and Music X, and those are not the people you want to be ulting, since immediately after getting ulted, Music X throws down his ultimate, which allows Luciv to pick up 2 kills. I think Wojtek picks up assists for a lot of that. But it was a really great response there from PictoChat throwing down the Shurima Shuffle with the Emperor's Divide. But unfortunately, the Sivir was able to pick up 2 in response. Luciv is now just incredibly strong as a result of picking up the rest of those kills. PictoChat staying around for too long, hoping he can pick something off, but that will be a clean ace for the Chess Club.
Funny enough, and you can see how important that farming is, especially as an ADC. This Kaisa is about 2.5K. That's almost an entire item, especially for one of those Zeal items. Up on this Sivir, that's going to be a big power spike, and yet the Sivir has the same amount of kills. She's just really far down on farm from Luciv here, and so any of you budding ADC mains, you can now see why it's so important for you to be farming and getting that 8-9 CS a minute in these competitive games. But they're going to win and lose by Luciv, and he's made it very clear about that. I will say, in some people might think, well, right here, Rook Stout going to get caught out. Perhaps he was looking for that vision and placed that pink ward right there, but unfortunately, he didn't have a team to back him up. And right now, the Tranimal is going to call to go after this Baron as a result of it. Yeah, really good poke there. He took a lot of damage from Baron. Bush League had to be there in front, and then Luciv finds a clutch Void Seeker onto the Tranimal to kick them off this Baron. So I don't believe they're going to be able to start it, especially because there's vision on it.
Yeah, it did look a little bit scary there with Rook Stout being dead. But yeah, walking where he really shouldn't be able to walk with no vision. So he'll have to respect how much vision.
Ooh, the Tranimal wants to come over this wall. They think they found him, except Droid. Oh no! Oh, the Tranimal goes over the wall, and Droid was sitting there the whole time with the lantern. He lanterns him right on top of him. Droid couldn't have even seen that coming. He didn't have a ward. It was completely lucky, serendipitous even, and they go and they're going to find the Tranimal. And now they have a chance to take the Baron somehow. Oh, Joe is going to go in on the Rammus, find all of that. Look at Chaos Storm almost gets completely one-shot. That might lead to the Baron just by itself. Bush League trying to get out the Unleashed power, even through all that tankiness and the shield. Still going to just absolutely chew through that Leona. They're going to turn this into an early Baron right here.
And Vishiv giveth and it taketh.
Lyle Walt solo kills Music X in the bot lane. The reason he did solo kill Bloodbath and Beyond points out in chat is he actually stopped that Gnar TP. I didn't see where the TP was coming in, but always when that stuff happens, here, let's go back to the Baron here to make sure that they're going to be able to finish it, because look at these low team members right here. Beautiful hook from Droid, preventing the Tranimal from being able to get in on that Baron. Amazing play by Droid08, who's going to get sacrificed for it, but it doesn't matter. They're going to take the Baron. Wow, that could have been a smite play right there, but Droid just says, nope, not on my watch.
Yeah, it was a good attempt there from the Emperor's Divide, from PitloChat to maybe try to get something back. Unfortunately, too strong there for the Chess Club, just blows him up immediately. But yeah, like I was saying, Vision giveth and taketh away. They got Rook Stout for all their vision, but did not realize that the Chess Club had vision there in that top bush. Easily able to blow up the jungle, and with pushing down Chaos Storm as well, transitions that over to the Baron. Tranimal try to get something done. Great hook there from Droid to stop him, and that means this is Chess Club's game to win.
And they have Baron, and I believe this is Soul Point. If we can go back to the scoreboard screen, make sure that is a 3-0 to Dragons. It is. That's Soul Point, and within 45 seconds, we're going to be seeing if these guys get an early 25-minute Soul. I want to quickly call out my man, Music X, an absolute rock. I know that's a pun, but it really is, in the top lane here with the Malphite. This guy plays for the team. No glory, he's going to play tanks every single time. Right there, he prevents Gnar from TPing into that Baron. Could have been disastrous if he showed up for that. He's going to die for it. Ultimately, a great team play there from the Chess Club and Music X in the top lane.
Yeah, incredibly well played. Like, it's that 1v1 trade. Even though he solo kills, gets solo killed once, it doesn't matter in the long run because he's just going to be a tank and he will be doing his job. But Dragon spawning here in about 10 seconds means we will be seeing a team fight to see maybe if the soul can be stopped or if this game will end here.
You take this if you're the Chess Club. Right there, the Leona is going to go on. Wojtek actually finds the one-shot around the side onto the Azir right there. Leona's going to go on the Thresh. It's not going to matter. The Malphite finds two people. Luciv is going to go around the back. He's going to be able to find the damage. Can they keep going after this? He's going to flash forward. This man doesn't care about anything. This is going to be, if it's not the end of the game, that is the end of the game. I'm telling you right now, this Chess Club team is playing like a team. Tranimal, they're all playing solo queue right now, and it shows.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great team fight. We saw Wojtek flash over the wall after he got the pick off there and the root there on PitloChat. Unfortunately, this will not be enough time to actually end the game, as we will have short death timers, but this will most likely signal the end of the game. Picking up that Infernal Soul, how strong this Kaisa is, means that this Chess Club basically just needs to check up a few more boxes, and they will most likely have this game closed down.
I don't even know who I want to call out right here. Like, Droid is going insane. He's making all the right plays on this Thresh. Wojtek around the side, not even at the Dragon with his team, literally 100 to 0 is the poor Azir who's sitting around the side, who's not even able to participate in the fight. As a result of this, Leona gonna go on to Luciv, who's not gonna be able to dodge. Really good job there, but the droid's gonna flash forward and prevent this guy from getting caught, and now Bush League is the one who's caught out, going a little too far forward. That's the problem with Leona. You take it in, you ain't getting out. You better hope you get all those kills, and he's not going to be able. That's going to add insult to injury. These guys are going to push down the mid turret here, and they're going to be looking to finish this game up.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be, some great fancy feet there from Luciv. Almost dodges out there on the Leona E, but Droid safely saving by his 80 carry, throws down that lantern to keep him alive.
Oh, look at Syndra. Look at the Syndra coming around. I don't think she's warded out. He's going to be looking for this one shot on the Tranimal. Look at that damage. That was a QE auto attack. Might have been a W. I don't even know, but that absolutely one-shots the Elise. This guy is absolutely massive, and they're all putting the team on their back. No one's caring because they're all playing as a team. I can't even say that. These guys are playing incredibly.
Yeah, incredible is definitely the word to call this. It was a great scatter of the week. Another one there catches out Chaos Storm.
Oh my god, Chaos Storm. He's going to go and get hit with that CC right there. Rook's down on the back line trying to 1v1 the Gnar. These guys are doing everything. Picto Chad in the bot lane is not even able to participate because he's trying to clear all these minions that are just barreling down. And well, I think he has to find a good stream of shuffle onto both of these backline members. That's really the only win condition they have here. At least he put it back into the game. Rook's down, standing in front of this turret, taking up all the damage that they have left. These guys can't even hit the chess club because they're too busy having to clear these minions. And I think this is looking, he's going to find two people. He's going to find two. He's not going to be able to find this Luciv on the backline. He's just way too well positioned at the start of that fight. He's way too huge. He still hasn't died. Is this potential Penta? It could be. He's going for it. That's going to be two. And are they going to dive Fountain for the Penta? Are they going to just look for their playoff finals berth? They're going to dive. They want to find it. And he's not going to get the Penta. Three people are going to die at the beginning of that. Good for Luciv for calling for the Penta. Unfortunately, they don't execute it as a team. And he does not save his perfect KDA, but he does carry the game, and he is going to make sure that this goes to game 2 with them up 1-0.
Definitely got to give the respect there for the dive for the Penta. But, I mean, this was just honestly a surprise with how incredibly well the chess club played. I mean, they just used the pressure that they have bot lane, and they even, with how far they were behind top side, and with the jungle pressure that they were able to get, even off the back of the invade of the Elise, they were able to just out-team fight Life for Appa. They were able to stack those dragons, get the soul. I mean, it was just an incredible game all around. Such a well-played game.
Look at the Malphite. I'm surprised to see this because he spent the entire game, matching the Gnar, preventing them from losing towers. He didn't get to join some of those fights because he was sitting there with Gnar. He still manages to squeak out more damage this game than every single member of the Life for Appa team. Great play from Music, and I'm just so proud of this guy. Not looking so great last season, looking okay at the start of the season, and really finding his form. And as it turns out, he's not really a solo-style player. He's there to benefit the team. And I think they all play with that same mentality, and that's why they play so well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I do think that the damage might be just a little bit inflated, just simply because of the nature of throwing out the Malphite Qs. But, I mean, he played this matchup better than I would have ever wanted him to, right? Lyle is a strong opponent. Not only did he solo kill Lyle, but he just probably had, I would assume, most damage taken in this game. Right? He did his job. He sucked up the pressure that was given onto him. Even though he did get that solo kill onto him, he was everywhere he needed to be, right? TPs when he was needed. He was able to get also really great ultimates in these fights. He was probably one of the silent heroes of this game, one of the silent carries with how well he played, being able to enable how fed Wojtek and Luciv were.
I'm going to tell you that if this team goes and plays that way, they're going to go to the finals and they might even win it.
Yeah, I mean, with what I saw this game, no other team has done what they've done. I've never seen a pre-level 6 dive on the bot side with all 5 members there, nonetheless. And just the team play that they have shown and the ability to play to their weaknesses and their strengths is, I think, unmatched in TCL. I think this is this is such a unique experience that we're getting to see firsthand. I definitely think I was honestly surprised that they even made it this far. But for them to win Game 1 against Life for Appa, this proves that they deserve to be here, and they almost prove
Good
that
leadership.
they deserve to
Yep.
be in the finals.
Good leadership, good team play. All right, folks, I hope you're having as much fun as we are. That was an incredible game from an incredible team. We're going to cut to a break real quick. Give us a little bit of time. We will be right back with Game 2. We'll catch you very shortly. Thank you.
Hearing voices from afar. Join the madness when the curtain falls. Risk it all, hold nothing back. Seize the day, we must attack. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the Can we bring to fall the giants? 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 We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high. And we all fight at the As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. But you always knew that you'd be the one that would while they all play. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream.
TCL fans, we are back here with Game 2. Game 1 with Life for Appa in the Chess Club was an incredible match in a bit of an awesome team stomp by the entirety of the chess club. It is 1-0 the chess club. We're coming back for game 2, and I'm excited. Two great teams here, but we definitely saw one rise above the other one. Sir Aaron here on the desk with me. How you doing after that game? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
I would definitely agree with how you put it. I think what we saw was a great sign of what can come in for the rest of this series and potentially for the shebang of the multi-game series of the finals. I think that the plays that the chess club made, especially with the dominance they showed with how strong of a team we know Life for Alpha to be, will only put so much more of an excitement around what is yet to come. I do expect Life for Alpha to make some adjustments though, right? I think they are still a very, very strong team, even if they maybe didn't play to that strength too well. And so I do expect this game to be a little bit closer. I will hope to see them make some adjustments, especially in draft, to be able to respond to how well Chess Club played that last game.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you, if you play as a team like that in any capacity, you will win TCL. I don't think that we've necessarily seen that from them. You know, I know they've tried to make a lot of team plays, but none of it looked that clean. Here, we're going to need to see Luciv pop up like usual, farm the way that he usually does. I will say these guys typically live and die by Wojtek. It's the nature of what happens when you pick a two-threat team and you play tanks everywhere else. If one of those two folks has an off day, their mental's not right, you're probably going to lose. If that guy's on like he was last game, especially after 100-0'd multiple of these people in the enemy jungle, you're probably going to win. And so my thought here is that Wojtek is clearly on a high. The pressure isn't getting to him. He wants to play in the first ever, I guess we're calling it the 5+1 game series tomorrow in the final Sunday. He's ready. He's going to bring it back this game, and I think they win in a 2-0 after that.
Yeah. I would have to say my expectation would lead me to believe that I think now that this series is in their hands to win. I don't think it's going to be a 2-0 simply because this is the first time I've seen that kind of team play. I don't know if that goes incredibly well game number 2, especially with the adaptations I expect Left for Alpha to make, right? I do not think Luciv ever...
I mean, look at that. That triple ban did not work out. What did I say at the start of that last champ select? You're going to triple ban his ADs that he wants to play, and then he's just going to go play Kaisa, who's one of the best ADs. Like, at that point, give him, by the way, I think it is trolling to ban the Kalista as opposed to the Kaisa. I get the Ezreal. I get he plays it well. I get the Lucian. He's popped off on it almost every time he's played it. What I don't get is why you wouldn't want him on the Kalista. He didn't have that strong of a showing. I get the Kalista Thresh is like a classic lane that people love a lot. But yeah, why would you give him the Kaisa, who's like one of the best and most played ADs right now? And then you don't get to ban anyone else that crucial first rotation. Hopefully they're going to change up something, because I just don't agree. I don't think that worked for him last time.
Yeah, and that is what I think they should do, right? I don't think he can play Kalista nearly as well as any of the other champions. Kalista is so much infinitely harder to play with just the way that she works around, jumping around with her auto attacks. So if this is not a Kaisa ban, Life for Alpha is just threw the series away. That's all I'm going to say, especially since we have the first pick there for the
first pick on it, yep.
I expect them to first pick Kaisa if it is up.
The Malphite, yep. I totally agree with that. I super agree with that. So I was going to say this, and I hadn't gotten around to it, but these guys need to play around topside. Unfortunately, they're going to give the Seraphine up, which you never want to do. But these guys need to play around topside. Lyle and Tranimal. Lyle is one of the best top laners in the league. He has shown very, very big carry performances. And unfortunately, like with the Gnar, if the Malphite gets tanky enough and gets his levels, there's really nothing you can do to like show your impact on the game, especially when you're getting your TP cancels by his ult. So yeah, I like that ban. I think that you need to put music, even if it's on the Ornn or something, like something that can be abused in some capacity by these 80 top laners.
I don't know if I actually prefer that ban. I think that you can take advantage of a Malphite lock-in through other ways. I think if Lyle wants to prove himself as the best top laner, he should be able to prove that by playing like Sylas is the best counter to Malphite. Play Sylas top, have another strong jungle that you can just abuse the Malphite. We never saw any dive.
Or Mord.
Or yeah, we never saw any dives on him. We never really saw any kind of way to take advantage of that kind of weak lane. I mean, he got one solo kill, but that was it, and he got traded in another instance. So I think the Kai'Sa was more of a problem. It gets an 80 carry off the table, even though, like I said, they can respond with the Kai'Sa, but then they lose a Sivir. I think Malphite was not the problem, even though he was an issue. I just think there's better ways to go about it than taking that away, especially knowing how much you can abuse a Malphite if you do it right.
Yep, the requisite Ornn locked in here for Music X. He's shown it. He played it all 3 games. I believe it was his last series. Not sure which series it was, but he did play it all 3 games. He's shown he wants to play that Ornn without any question. And they've got the Kai'Sa, they've got the Seraphine, and I'm sitting here and it's like, again, yeah, you got rid of the Ezreal and the Lucian. Like this, people were flaming me when we played them and we didn't ban the Lucian, but it's like, okay, but then you just give up Kai'Sa. Like, in what world is the Kai'Sa going to be like easier to deal with than the Lucian? I don't think any world, in my personal opinion, especially with the early game build you take here. And so, like, yeah, they've got 3 bans here, but like, I'm looking at the chess club and I've watched all of their matches. I frankly have like produced or casted most of them. I'm looking at a Seraphine, a Kai'Sa, and an Ornn, and I'm feeling like they got every single champion that they wanted out of this blue side draft, regardless of anything. You know, it's like as if there wasn't bans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as you were saying, Music X did, I think, play Ornn 2 times in his series against Verge the Word. What didn't look the best as some of the champions. They have a few missed ults there in the Ornn, but obviously Ornn also gives you 1 free K gold, 1K free gold to each member with his upgrades. But I do really like how Lyle has now gone for a just immediate bully response in Camille. Camille's one of the strongest top laners, one great carry, not only for the strength of the champion, but in the side lane too. And Camille is great into Ornn, can just abuse him before pre-6 and throughout if she gets a lead. So if we do have a strong jungle pick here for Trenmal, I expect to see more attention there on the top side.
I really like that Kindred pick. If you look at the Tranimal's profile, he has been playing a lot of the Kindred. I think he feels right now that he needs to put on a carry performance. You know, his bot lane hasn't really been showing up. Mid lane kind of follows him around. He's hovering the Nocturne. Is he going to lock it in? That's a really interesting pick. He is going to lock that. I like that a lot because you pick that to absolutely destroy the front-to-back team comp that these guys are putting together. That's how you beat a front-to-back. You find the dive, and you get onto their backline. They've got a Camille, and they've got a Nocturne, and that's looking a little bit scary for the Seraphine and this Kai'Sa. So I'm really, really liking the draft so far from both teams.
Yeah, and not only that, we will see the Rammus again. Workstout has just played that so very well, and I think for the kind of champions that he's going up against, how there's already 4 AD champions, Rammus is just actually perfect here. But I think Nocturne will play very well if they make sure that they play around the Camille, right? Camille will just lock one person down with the ultimate. Nocturne can just fly in and hopefully just blow up the champion. That's what I expect to see in the top lane. If they don't do that, then there's obviously going to be something going very wrong. But there should be an AP pick here in the mid lane for the final pick. I do not think it's going to go Kassadin, though.
You know, I mean, you've got the dive. Honestly, I would really approve of this if they wanted to pick it and your whole goal was just to dive onto the backline and completely ignore these tanks. Kassadin is probably the way to do that as long as you can get to level 11 with it. Yeah, I kind of like that pick. The Nocturne is really strong. Once it hits level 6, you typically just perma-farm that. The Camille obviously has a very strong mid-game spike there. The Kassadin can kind of get carried through this early game and show up. And then this team literally just dives Syndra over and over every single fight. Kills the backline. Yeah. The Rammus and the Ornn can't do anything about it. This is going to be a fun game. Both like very typical drafts from both sides. We're showing the dive in really skirmish-heavy team comp here. Looks like we might have had a trade bug. Yep, it was a trade bug. The picks and bans will get locked in. I will do some administrative duties here to just confirm everything's good. But yeah, I think it was just a simple trade bug.
Yeah, while A Barnes is doing his administrative job, well, I'll go back and hit on a few moments of the draft. I do really like the Casson, at least for the reason of it's late game insurance in a sense, right? Casson is one of the strongest scaling champions in the game, but he also has an incredibly important job. He is the only source of AP on this team. If he does not get ahead or at least stay even in this match, it's just a wash. Rammus can just build full armor, will allow him to basically tank everything. Not only that, the Ornn will just be able to build full armor, and Casson will be useless if he does not get ahead. If Casson ever gets a lead, he will be able to just blow up the Seraphine, blow up the Kaisa, blow up Wojtek. They will not be able to play the game, especially because they won't be able to itemize against him. They will have to build for the AP sources because of the threat of the Nocturne dive and the Camille backline engage. I will really want to see both these teams play to their strengths, right? Because I think there's a very, very obvious win condition for both of these teams. We want to see the dive from Life Rappa. We also want to see the front-to-back team fight. The way that both the teams are going to want to work, I would expect to see Lyle to look for some flanks, or if they get, maybe a good pick with some CC there for Life Rappa, see just the immediate engage from the Tranwell. But if we can hopefully get some kind of peel and some kind of retreat and then re-engage from the Chess Club, that will probably be their best or their keys to victory.
Yeah, it sure will here. I think this is always a great battle of can the tanks get strong enough where they can basically enforce the front-to-back team fight. If they can, chances are you're going to see a victory because this is a very, very strong front-to-back team drafted here by the Chess Club. If they're not far enough ahead or they're too slow to move to the fight, they're going to get dove on over and over and over again by the Nocturne, by the Camille from Wild Walt, by the Cassidon. I mean, that trio is absolutely terrifying and disgusting. And so, just for those in chat, a couple questions. This will be a pure redraft of the same champions that were picked. What happened is it was just a simple client bug, but because those were locked in, we will be enforcing that exact same draft goes through.
Yeah, and I will be very, very curious to see maybe if there's more proactivity from Life Rappa in the early game. I think they had some good looks there with the early invade from the Elise, but it kind of didn't go as planned with the reset from the blue buff, and then kind of from there, I didn't really feel that Life Rappa did anything proactive. They kind of just responded to what the Chess Club did, and if they ever overextended, they're able to capitalize. But they really never made any plays on their own or were able to build any advantage by their own individual play.
Yeah, well, I think if I were to say what the biggest issue with this team is, the Tranimal is a very fast player. He has things in his mind he wants to do, he wants to execute them, and he expects to be playing on a team where people are going to follow him and know what he's thinking and be right there behind him when he goes and he finds the big moments and engages. The problem is that some of this team, they just have different ways of wanting to play the game. And it's not to say that they're the wrong ways, but what ends up happening is that like the Tranimal will go down early and he will go and try to force plays and go really fast and try to get that lead back. The rest of the team wants to sit there and scale and just chill out and not die. The result is that, these divers will go in and they'll die and they won't really get anything for it. And they don't seem to have that same team cohesion as a group of players. They're definitely a lot more explosive than the Chess Club. The Chess Club wants to be very reserved and play slowly and play intelligently. But sometimes the tortoise beats the hare, and I think we are seeing that in this particular case, where these guys just put together some of the best in a simple, easy to execute comp. We're not Grandmaster players as much as TCL would like to say that we all are. We're not. And sometimes ease of execution ends up winning in the long term.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess with that, I would expect to see that kind of fast play. I think these are the champions that you would expect to see enable that kind of fast play. With that, over under on how many times Tranimal ults onto someone, tries to blow them up, but gets killed in response.
Well, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I will say you've seen the Tranimal play the Talon this season. You've seen him play. What other assassins has he gone? Oh, the Kazakhs. I should know that well. the infamous tank Kazakhs. But what he does is he takes these like assassin type champions and he'll build like Gore Drinker on them. And he'll build Sterix Gauge on them. And he'll get really, really, really tanky on these champions. And so he'll go in for the dive. Chances are they'll use just about everything trying to blow him up. And he probably won't die. And when that happens, the unfortunate thing is the rest of the team gets to engage with the Camille, with the Kassadin, with the Leona, who's super tanky. And if you've just blown everything on the Nocturne, you're not going to have a whole lot left. So let's see if they're going to be able to execute it that way. But that definitely is the condition. I guarantee this guy's not going to build full damage. He will build this tanky Nocturne build the same way he does with other assassins.
Yeah, and I think they'll definitely need to kind of, since Camille won't really be that tanky, at least in early stages, and Kassadin obviously is just going to be a cannon minion until he gets some kind of lead, right? If the Chess Club is able to find a way to exploit Kassadin's weakness, especially with, if they catch a Scatter of the Weak on Syndra, or if they maybe can, for a really, really great Rammus engage onto him or gank, that's going to help them in the long run. And so I think I think this draft favors Lefrapa with the way that they play to their win cons. Now, will they actually be able to execute on that win con? I don't know, especially with how well the Chess Club is playing. I think we're going to have to find out if maybe we have more of the same with kind of that proactivity of the Chess Club, or maybe will that be quelled by the individual strength of some of the members of Lefrapa?
I think we're going to need to see a good game from Chaos. We haven't seen much from him in any of these last games. I don't know what's been going on down there, but he's constantly losing 50, 60 CS, getting killed in lane. Obviously, he's getting ganked, but it just looks like they're not all on the same page. I am waiting for the one big pop-off game. He's had him. He's shown him. He played a lot of MF last season. He did a ton of damage in some of these games where he got like 12, 14, 15 kills. We haven't seen that from him, and I think if he puts it all together in this game, by the way, if they lose this game, they are officially eliminated from TCL. So this is the big moment that he has to show up for. I don't think Chaos is intending on competing next season. So this literally could be his last TCL match. Is he going to show up and play and put the team on his back on the Sivir here and really push this forward? Or is the Chess Club going to do the same thing they do last game? I think that's what we're all here to figure out right now.
Yeah, and I definitely hope he does, right? I think to his own credit, he had some good looks there in the last game, right? He had the double kill there in the one fight, and that team fight that kind of swung the game there in favor of the Chess Club to end. And there really wasn't much you could do with how fed the members of the Chess Club were. Now, this is a much different bot lane, right? He has Bush League on one of his best champions on the Leona. He's obviously has a Sivir again, but it's not a Thresh this time, it is a Seraphine, and Seraphine is not the strongest champion early. So, if he can play well with the Bush League...
We got an invade coming in bot lane, Mr. Cameraman.
30 seconds until minions...
Oh, he's going to get the ward down. They're going to walk through and not be able to find it. Oh, boy, yeah, they don't even know they're warded out. They're going to walk through. The question is will they pull the Orin down? He obviously has TP. I don't think they're going to want to contest this. Lucid is staying where he is to try and find the vision just to see what they end up doing. The question is will they go over the wall? They're not going to.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to... I mean, they could, I guess, go over the wall into maybe more, but with not knowing how many champions were, especially with them being seen out, might just be better to back off, especially since you don't have the Ornn. Or not the Ornn, I apologize. You don't maybe see anything off the bat, and your vision isn't giving you anything in response. So, good early wards there from the Chess Club to be able to stop any potential early game shenanigans, and we'll just have a average, normal start.
Average normal start it is. That's exactly what we like sometimes. No cheese, especially on this last game. Nerves usually get a little bit high during these games. The players don't want to make mistakes, and sometimes playing like that is one of the worst things you can do. But it's easy to do. You get into these situations, and it's the end of your season. And you start, maybe you make some mistakes, or maybe you don't do things you usually could. Lemon in chat, it is game number 2. Game 1, you can see from the top little bar of the overlay, you can always see what the current score is. But yeah, right here, Life for Appa up against the wall. Gonna have to find this game here, hopefully a carry from this Lyle Walt Camille, who showed to be really, really, really good at the start of the season. We haven't seen that champ from him recently, rather. And yeah, he's gonna have to come out to play. Meanwhile, this bot lane, Droid away on the Seraphine, obviously a TCL power pick. Udyr and Seraphine both have sort of emerged as the champions that just need to get picked every single game in TCL. They've shown to be quite strong. But with the Seraphine and the Kaisa, there's not a whole lot of lane synergy here. So these guys are just going to look to farm it out. Very, very difficult to find an early kill on this. And I think that's kind of what the Tranimal is looking for to take advantage of in this early game.
Yeah, and definitely being the strength in the middle, that Seraphine and the Udara, obviously, that's why you see such a priority on them. That's why you see them banned so much. And with this early stage of the game, I think obviously with this being game on the line and with how much of a smash last game was, I do think there's definitely going to be some nerves there on Lathrapa. But I think they know that they're a strong team, right? Tranimal is a very, very good captain. I think he's going to be able to lead his team well into this game, especially with having a little bit more of a proactive champion, so maybe start to give him some momentum going into game 2.
Yeah, and he's going to need to find these ganks. I think typically what you see with the Nocturne is they will go and do the full clear to get level 6. Maybe they'll find one gank while the camps are down towards the early game. But his goal is to get that level 6 and go and find these fights. That is what the Nocturne does. It is scary, but you do have a little bit of an opportunity to hang out and get some kind of early items while you're waiting for that Nocturne to scale up and get to his level 6 ultimate ability. So the Chess Glove loves to sit around and not be pressured and scaled. That is the one single way that they win effectively every time. So we'll see if it works out the way we think it will.
Yeah, and top side we just saw with the pressure that Vault had. Throws down the ward there into the top jungle to see when the Rammus would return. We did have the reset there from the Tranimal. Just sitting there in the bot lane in case there was any potential gank from Rammus. We do have both schedules still active on the map, have not been taken by either side, as we will have Tranimal now moving into that, most likely to take that. So we will have this a little bit of a camp advantage there against Rookstown.
Nocturne kind of cheating into this river right here. It looks like he's going to be able to find the scuttle that Rook Stout on the Rammus is sort of pathing towards. He's going to take the invade. As a result, Rook Stout still walking, going to be able to find out that he does not have that scuttle still up here. He's going to walk into that. Meanwhile, Tranimal is just going to be taking his camps. That's going to be a kill topside. We missed it on cam, but I'm guessing... I don't know what to guess, because that seems like a weird time for music to die. I'm going to go ahead and say he was on snack time during that. Not sure what happened there. Yeah.
What I'm assuming is he did have the flash burn, so I'm assuming...
bot side right there. Rook Stout gonna get almost caught by the bot lane who roamed up. He's gonna back up. This guy is not allowed to go for anything right now. Look at the Nocturne in his top side stealing all his camps. Luckily his team finally does walk up and help him actually get this scuttle.
Yeah, kind of opportunistically enough, Tranimal walked around Rook Stout perfectly to be able to invade his top side, because they both miss each other, going to check out the top scuttle. So Tranimal will be happy with that counter jungle. But kind of going back to the top side 1v1, what I believe happened is Lalwap probably got a great E stun, and probably perfectly timed Music X unfortunately did not time his flash enough to be able to dodge the Q proc, which would have most likely killed him in that fight. But he will have to TP back to lane as response. Kais, I apologize. Camille now has a message in the lane, and this is definitely the start that Lathrapa wants.
Yeah, and as Blood pointed out in the chat here, Rook Stout actually did find a gank before he walked bot side onto the enemy mid laner. Kassadin is now without flash. That's going to be really, really key for him. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this just level 6 damage from Lyle Walt. From the second Q activation, true damage. Already this early in the game, he has the kill, he has the sheen. It just does so much damage. I hate to be Music X in this case, and looks like he's gonna finish the steel caps. Interestingly here, in some better top laner, actually let's hold that thought because we're gonna have a gank. Music X always gonna find the knockup. He's gonna be able to get the ult down. And he's not gonna be able to dodge it with the ult because he was CC'd during it. An absolutely beautiful, beautiful gank there from Rook Stout. Unfortunately, when you gank topside right this time, it typically means you're going to have to give up the dragon as a result. Not a great situation for the team, but it does put Music back in the game. And as we discussed, the tanks do need to be strong. Really important here. And the question is will this drag get finished up? It looks like the answer to that question is yes. Smite's going to go down, and that will be a return. Oh, the Tranimal going to go in and find this Paranoia onto the Syndra. PictoChat going to go over the wall with it. Oh, is it turnaround is going to happen? The Ignite, the ult goes down. He hits him with all of the balls. The damage wasn't there. Wojtek flashes away, finds the Ignite. That's like the 4th time we've seen Wojtek with these crazy turnaround plays. I don't know what it is, but that right there is going to be one of the most clutch plays of this game. I am calling it right now.
Yeah, and we saw that Channel try to get it done, right? Forced the flasher out of Wojtek, but unfortunately did not have the damage. With Caston being so far behind, could only throw down the silence. Doesn't do anywhere near enough damage here in the early stages of the game. So unfortunately, oversteps there. Wojtek with the ultimate, with the ignite, able to take down PictoChat. And it was a really, really great 2v1 there on the top side. That portion of the wall where Camille E2 or hookshot to is probably one of the worst places to hookshot to, because you just don't get far enough to where you can get away from the ultimate. So really, really good capitalization, but also good for the Chess Club to use the pressure that they have bot side, and knowing that the jungler's top to pick up the first dragon of the game.
Viewer in chat saying that Picto trolled that on the Kassadin. I completely disagree. The problem is the Kassadin didn't have flash. You don't have any follow-up damage. I don't even know if he missed anything. I don't think Wojtek was ever close enough to dying where the Kassadin made the difference. The problem is that if you go in on the Syndra, you have to know that a level 6 Kassadin's behind you, and you're not going to have the follow-up that you need. And we just learned what happened when that happens. And so ultimately, I don't know if you can blame Picto for that. I think that he was in the position that any level 6 Kassadin is in. He uses his ult to get over the wall. He doesn't have flash, and then he doesn't have any follow-up damage as a result.
Yeah, Tranmokov, if he just burned the flash, would have been, I think, 100% content with that, since that means he could come back for an easy repeat game, especially with the silence of PictoChat, just layer that. But we might have a gank here again on the top side.
The repeat gank goes on, and actually Music is going to miss the ult right there on the Lyle. Lyle is going to be able to get away. Music does not have that flash. It is so close, but it is not there. The Tranimal is going to go on to Music X right here, and I don't actually know. Tranimal looks pretty far ahead. I don't even know if Joe had to flash away from that. The reason why it wouldn't have worked out is because of all those minions. Joe is going to go on. He's going to be able to find a kill. Is the return going to happen? Lyle is going to go hop in right here. PictoChat has joined the party. He is up at the top lane right now. Music's going to try and find this kill. He does get the knockup. Wojtek is in, but he's not going to be able to find all the damage. That Triumph is going to be able to go through. This could be disastrous for the Chess Club. Oh, Lyle, he gets the magic damage shield at the very last second, which takes all of that ult from the Syndra. Great roam there from PictoChat, finding his way up. That is a huge turnaround in the life for Appa is back in this game right now.
Yeah, really well played there by Lyle to dodge around, dodge all the CC there from Music X, and all the damage coming through there from Wojtek. Unfortunately, one thing similar that we have seen is all the missed ults there from Music X. He lands that ult, Lyle ult dies, and they can get out of there scot-free. Maybe even get a trade on Channel if he decides to go in. So a little bit unfortunate reoccurrence there for Music X. I guess they do get the kill there on Channel at the very least, but now that gives PictoChat 2 free kills, and he actually starts to give him a little bit more pressure there in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely huge. As Kassadin, one of the guys you did not need to give a couple kills to, he will be able to come up and actually, he's going to be able to scale through this game. I will say, when Rookstout flashed away there, I think that was a big mistake right there. He was in the middle of a minion line. He wasn't as low as he thought he was. They could have turned and found the kill on a Tranimal right there, way before the mid laner showed up and turned that fight into what it was. So, missed execution there from the Chess Club. Ultimately, really, really good team play from Life for Appa. And yeah, these games can really change in just a couple small moments, like we just saw.
Yeah, I might be looking for a little bit more here, but we'll just maybe be running to support his bot side. Only about 10 CS behind this Chaos Storm now, obviously without the strength of Jord being on a more scary champion like the Thresh. We'll be able to give maybe a little bit more of a chance to equalize the farm there for Chaos Storm. But this is going to be, I think, a different game. With the way that it's going in the early game, this is definitely how Life of Appa wants it to go.
The Nocturne is going to show up mid lane. We can go to mid lane and see what happened here. Oh, that's going to be all of the damage. A great fight. That is what can happen when you're an immobile mage. And his flash is probably like 20 seconds from being up. It's really close. It might even be less than that. Great find right there from the Tranimal. But the question is will this bot lane plus jungle combo go and try to find something right here? It is a 3v4. Ultimately, they're going to run away and say, yeah, it's probably not worth it. We need to scale up. We need our Kai'Sa to be big. And we also don't like taking 3v4s. So
Yeah, Bush League and Code are going to be much stronger at this
Oh,
point.
I don't know. These guys are getting low. The ult is going to miss on the Bush League's Leona. Right here, the Ornn does have TP. He can TP to this fight. Wojtek running to the Dragon. It's still going to be a 5v4. They're ultimately going to back out. I don't know if they need to back out because there were some kind of middle health bars. They had the TP, and I honestly think they probably could have contested that.
I might have to just disagree with you there, especially since how close Lyle Walt was. That was going to be a 5v4, not in the favor of the Chess Club, for also the reason of Seraphine and Kai'Sa were not as strong as they would be if it was a Kai'Sa Thresh. You know, you have Bush League just land any kind of CC on top of you, you're just going to immediately die with the follow-up from the Kassan as well as the Nocturne. You don't have the same kind of dive potential, and unfortunately, the TP from the Ornn would have taken too long for it to matter. So I think it was better for them to just say, hey, you know, give it up. We made a mistake. It's fine. We'll you know, just play our scaling game, and hopefully we'll trust Luciv and Wojtek to carry us through.
Well, I think the important thing to look at there is that both the Nocturne, I do agree with you, both the Nocturne and the Leona ult were down. And those are some of the key ults that start these fights. They don't really have a whole lot else past that. So they were getting kind of low, kind of within range to get blown up by this, you know, this Kai'Sa who's getting items a little bit slowly here, slowly but surely. It was definitely possible, but yeah, I think you're right. At the end of the day, these guys are going to look at this and say, like, you know what? What's the point? The worst thing that could happen is that we go and we continue to feed, you know, this Nocturne and the Camille. Like, we know we're going to scale pretty hard into this game, like, with Luciv at the end of the game. Let's just chill. There's no reason to go and take, you know, there's no reason to go take some stupid fight just to say we did it.
Yeah, we will have Channel taking here this top scuttle. Music X and Rickshot will be around. We will be able to see him now in case there might be any potential fight breaking out.
We might get a 3v3 because Wojtek is coming around the side and he wants to make sure that he at least has vision of Picto, who could have gone over the wall. Ultimately, Tranimal is going to abandon this. A little bit surprised because I do believe his ult did just come back out. I think they do win that. Most notably, they do not know where the Kai'Sa and the Seraphine are, and so I think they're going to back off and say, you know what, let's fight another day.
Yeah, don't need to force Rift Trail anytime early. You've got the 1k gold lead, you've got the 2 dragons. Just play the game that you've been playing, right? You can most likely have Lyle Wild get another solo kill on Music X, if not with the gank from Tranimal's ultimate. We do have Kai'Sa roamed up here with the entirety of the team. Maybe just trying to actually play towards that Rift Herald, but that means Chaos will be able to free farm there on the bot side.
Yeah, he sure is, and he's going to be able to maybe even get some... Oh, no, the plates are down. It's past 15 minutes. I wonder if he was going to be able to come close to getting that turret right there. Can we show the turret health bar right there on that bot lane turret?
The very slow pan will show us.
It was for dramatic effect right here. Well, these guys are going to be able to find the Herald towards topside, and it is going to be completely uncontested. Yeah, they're going to be able to take this thing, and my guess is they're just going to go and look to shove it down mid here. Oh, the Kassan's getting gone on right here in the mid lane. The Gate is going to go onto him. He's going to be able to flash out of it. Yeah, he's going to have to flash because I think he dies right there pretty quickly if he doesn't.
Yeah, he would have gotten CC'd there by Rookstout. Follow-up Skylar Leaf from Wojtek, Ignite, and Ultimate will definitely signal his downfall.
Luciv here, Gale force forward, finds all of that damage, but look, the TP is going to come through there. Ornn's going to block the TP. That's a really, really, really important job. Great job from the Ornn there. Rookstout has showed up. Seraphine has gotten hit. They're going to get the cleanse off onto him, but he's just going to automatically pop. Meanwhile, Picto has shown up. He is there out of the fight. Luciv now going to look to flash over the wall, and he fail flashes. Tries to get over that wall, tries to do the trick, and he will fail with that. Even with the Camille TP going, that dive was, well, it wasn't the most cerebral play I've seen from this bot lane, if we could say it nicely.
Yeah, I guess I don't hate the attempt, mostly because they want to try to build that advantage, right? But as we see with Bush League, if he hits an ultimate, he gets a kill. So he lands an ultimate there onto Droid. We'll be able to pick him up as well as Luciv with the help of PictoChat. And honestly, from this point, you've got 3k gold lead. This game's over, in my opinion. You do not have the lead that the Chess Club had last game. You do not have the 5-0 Kai'Sa that you had. You have Lyle Walt ahead. Tranimal's doing just fine. PictoChat playing one of the best scaling champions, 3-0-3. And, you know, Chaos hasn't died yet. It's not even that far behind the CS. I think this game's just over, in my opinion.
You know, actually say I disagree on that only because you got two really, really good peeling tanks. You've got the Seraphine with the big team-wide shields. What else do you want in terms of, something to go against the diving Cassidon and the diving Nocturne? They're in a good position. They're looking like they're going to be able to win. Like, they're probably going to have priority for this dragon. At the end of the day, with Luciv getting his items as he gets into this game, I think there's a world where they just kind of, they turtle it out. They find one or two dragons to delay the soul. It is going to be a win soul, so it's probably not the end of the world if they lose it anyway. I don't think this is an over game. I think that they're in fine position to scale if they can just stop some of this bleeding. We do have a fight topside. I think we're going to see one of these people die. Yeah, unfortunately, music stays too late under tower. All right, back to the dragon here. Not only are they going to find the solo kill, he does not have TP, but they are going to have some kind of 4v4 here, and I just don't think the chess club is able to. Oh, Luciv almost finding the Void Seeker. They're going to have to go and try to stop Lyle, who's just finding all the damage on these turrets, and just a really unfortunate time for music to die right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he stayed too long with the rope kill there being popped for Lyle Walt. Easy solo kill there. They're trying to rotate, but Camille is not an easy champion to catch.
Oh, here we go. The Flash is going to go over the wall. He is taunted. He is going to get CC'd. He's going to flash out of it. He's going to go over to the top side. Wojtek is going to go and go over the wall, try to find that. He needs that kill. He wants that kill. Wojtek's going to be able to find it with the Ignite. Good play there, but the question is can Chaos Storm, in the meantime, the spot lane, find this mid turret? As a result, good team play, but it might not be worth it. They're going to open up this map, it sure looks like here, and find themselves in a good position to keep pushing forward their lead. Oh, and we look at the Rammus here. Rammus was looking like he wanted to fight. Ultimately, he's not going to take that. I think that was probably for the best. That was a 3v3, and they are far enough behind. You're going to be really happy you didn't take that fight.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that we need to see the flasher from Wojtek. Camille burned all of her movement, had no flash, already used her E. And you can't really escape from a Rammus that's just going to run you down consistently. So maybe hold into that flash, use it for maybe another team fight when you need it. But regardless, we'll pick up the kill. We'll get the shutdown too, so that should help. To get you back a little bit into the game, gold lead is still just about 3k. You are on soul point, and even though it is a cloud soul, there are some champions who would love to have the movement speed, like the Cassidon, like the Nocturne there. And obviously that would only make Chaos even faster, so he would only be safer. But not the worst game state that this team has ever been in, and it was a good pick, but we'll have to see if they try to find any similar advantages, maybe with the overstep and maybe overconfidence of Life for Alpha.
I mean, we saw it versus Verd is the Word, where that game 3, Verd is the Word, played an incredible entirety of the game, and they're kind of, they're not quite choking him out, because obviously the chess club was in a position to make a play, but they were beating him all game, and then one kind of, I'm not going to say lucky, it was a good play, but one play and it's all over. And at that point they were down 4 or 5k or whatever. It is looking a lot like this game. And at the end of the day, if we're talking pure team fight scaling, I would say I personally want the chess club in this situation. Yeah, you've got to Camille with true damage against these tanks. That does help. At the end of the day, though, that late game front to back definitely is strong. Oh my god, look at the movement speed. He's trying to find Tranimal, but unfortunately it goes away just before he's about to get that power ball to connect on the hitbox.
Even though you might like the tankiness scaling there from the chess club, I think I just would prefer the strength that PictoChat can have, especially with how strong Chaos Storm can be when he gets full items, right? 400 CS Sivir is what you would call the win con for that kind of pick. And if it's just going to be a normal front to back, Sivir is just going to shine with the amount of volume that her auto attacks are going to have. And if you just have Tranimal and diving into the backline, PictoChat just dishing out the damage that Cassidon will do, I think it's going to be a very, very fun late game team fight to see.
If you can't have a Sivir on a team and not call out the, X100 CS win con. It's kind of League of Legends tradition. I will say I've always found it funny that whenever folks bring it up in a series, that the number always goes up. So it's the 350 CS win con, that's the 400 CS, then it's the 600 CS Sivir win condition. Let's see how far he can get by the end of this game. He might not even have to. Yeah, as it is.
And he's a lot closer in CS to his opponent than he has been in some of these games. So really, really good on him to be able to, maybe be able to use the more equal 2v2 of the lane to build not too much of a deficit, and he will hopefully be given more priority from his team to be able to get the CS.
Oh, this is going to be a Nocturne ult. He is going in topside, able to find a lot of this damage right here. The Syndra is trying to weave back and forth. Ultimately not going to matter because these guys can take tower shots for days. They're going to be able to find that kill. The question is will they go and try to find a repeat into the mid lane? I think they'd sure like to. They know where Tranimal is. The dragon is coming up. But, yeah, you got to make a team play right here. I think that's the only way you keep yourself in this game with this soul coming up.
Yeah, definitely would like to see something happen right now. We do see two of the bot laners in the mid lane, and he might be going right now.
Oh, he's going to go. He's going to pop the chem take. He's going to get onto Chaos Storm. Chaos Storm does actually end up finding Rammus really, really good. That ult is going to hit. This guy is going to get absolutely popped. That is the only damage they were able to find onto that. Camille is TP'd to the bot side. Right here, the Rammus trying to protect. The Rammus does a really good job. He sits 2 CCs onto it. Might not matter because they're all getting doped. Luciv's going to go down. Next, Rookstout's going to go down. Droid away in the back, able to stay out of it. Oh, he's not able to stay out of it. Lyle Walt showing the power of this Camille pick right here. And Music X is going to go in. They're going to find the knockup. Hopefully this all comes through and they're going to be able to find the turn kill. They do, but still an incredible, incredible play by Life for Appa. Somehow only a 3 for 2. Honestly, it looked a little bit worse than it was. Ultimately, it's a 3 for 2 where they are going to be able to go and find this dragon though. So we're going to call work. That was a good play.
Yeah, just the Camille absolutely pops Luciv and Droid there. They will pick up the Cloud Soul for that team fight. They did get a few kills there, so not the worst fight in response. Unfortunately, not too prepared for the rundown of Rookstout. Would have liked to see him use his smite there to pop the Silver Spell Shield and then get that root up. But it was a really, really well-timed Seraphine ultimate to pick up the 1. And now, 5k gold lead here at 24 minutes into the game. Fairness on the table for Life Alpha to have at their choosing. So definitely we'll want to see the Chess Club look for some more opportunities to build some more advantages in this game.
So I will say, in theory, this Cloud Soul is really, really good for Kassadin. Because Cloud Soul is going to give you a bunch of movement speed after ulting. The thing is that Kassadin players will also use their ult to get around the map. And so you have to time the cooldown because it doesn't give it to you every time with ulting. It does have like an internal cooldown of like 30 seconds. And so if he like saves his ult and uses that movement speed at the start of the fight, Luciv will never be able to survive ever. He's going to be completely screwed. If he doesn't have it, and I can't speak for the rest of the team, but like this Kassadin is going to have to get in and try to find a kill onto him, and hopefully he can play around that cooldown and actually use the soul to its advantage. We'll see.
Yeah, right now, though, we will have 3 members of the Chess Club there on the top side to potentially meet the split push of Camille, and that's what Camille's been doing on this game. Split pushing is her job. She's been doing it very, very well. Was able to get, multiple solo kills there on Music X with the help of the Trendmol, as well to pick up Wojtek as well, so...
Kassadin onto the Ornn bot side, trying to find these trades. I don't think he's going to be able to kill the Ornn, but he sure wants him to... He wants him to know that he's out there.
Yeah, Ornn does have no MR, so could potentially look for some kind of maybe all-in. But Music X obviously could be very, very tanky. Has the CC to withstand, so we'll have to see maybe if there's any kind of tussle.
Yeah, well, like look at that. Like he uses the what is it? Not the Nether Blade. What's the Kassadin Q called? Well, he uses the Kassadin Q, and even though there's no magic resist, it still does like 50 damage. This guy just has so much health at this moment in the game. Nocturne here, almost looking like they could be wanting some type of dive. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, and the Rammus is going to be able to walk into his jungle and make sure these guys don't find anything. They want the vision plays. Little do they know that this chess club actually going towards topside, trying to find the plays onto the Camille. That is going to be the ult bot side. You can see what happens, not sure. All right, so right here, the ult has come down on the Music X. I was right. They're going to go find the dive. A beautiful flash from Music X. He's going to be able to flash out of that Leona ult that would have surely killed him. He's definitely giving enough time for the team to show up and find him there. Beautiful play by Music X. Now he's looking a little bit too far forward here. They don't have the Camille. I know they're going to find the fight right there. Chaos right there over the wall, but look how fast he is. Look at this guy in the middle right here. The Kassadin is going to die. He does go for the dive right there. You're seeing a little bit of that power of that soul That could have gone a lot worse, but the fact is with the soul, they zoom out of there after using some of their ults, and only one person has to die. And honestly, I would say worth, because it sure looks like this Camille is going to find a return to Tower 4.
Yeah, you know, I do really, really like how the Chess Cup just went in right away, right? Really, really well played.
Oh, these guys are calling Baron. These guys are calling Baron. Lyle Walt is going to leave through bot side. Meanwhile, they're calling Baron. I like this play. This is a really interesting play. Music X is just going to make sure that Lyle can't TP away. Little does he know the TP isn't actually in there. Oh, but that's a lot of damage. That's going to get real scary. The Bush League is coming in. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those really tough calls right there in a really important series. I think they could have finished it. Bush League was the only one there. The Tranimal did not have ult backup at the time, right when he started. He obviously does now. Yeah, you know, I think that's a really hard call to make, and they made the safe one, and I can't blame them for making the safe call. Unfortunately, right here, this is what happens when you back in a spot you're not allowed to. Come on, man. You know they're coming into your jungle. You know that that's what they're going to do, and unfortunately, a very, very grave mistake is going to lead to what I believe to be a free Baron here for the Tranimal and team.
Yeah, not really respecting the potential invade of their jungle. We saw Wojtek back in that that upper bush that only moved back a little bit.
Oh, look at Luciv right here on the top side. Luciv on the top side right there has to go, and I believe he uses his ult to get out. I don't think he flashed. No, it was just a Gale Force. Luciv sitting in that bush. That was scary. Whole team barreling down on him. Luckily, there wasn't any vision to find him out there. They're going to start the Baron here. Both top laners have the TP. This will be a 3 versus 4 onto it. Rookstout with the Rammus running up real fast. Trying to find something. These guys can't do the Baron right here, but Bushley's going to want to go on to this. Yep, he's going to flash forward. He's going to be able to fight. He does not find any CC onto Luciv right there. He doesn't even have to burn any of his movement spells here or there just to get away from that. And that could have been a little bit disastrous for Luciv right there, but good job from the team at the Chess Club preventing that Baron, at least slowing this game down.
Yeah, playing around his abilities well, making sure that he will be able to get out if he was dove upon. But yeah, you know, going back to weapons before this, really well played there from Music X to be able to dodge that gank. I thought he was overextending there afterwards, but it was really great, just immediate engage head first. Luciv dives into the backline, able to pick off at least one member. I think the Baron temp was a decent idea, but if they did try to just, second the Baron, they would have gotten wiped in response. The health bars were too low.
Oh, this is going to be engaged here. Right here, the Nocturne's going to go in onto the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa's going to get stunned, but he does cleanse all of that from the Leona right there. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stun there from PictoChat, who's deep into the backline. He's going to be able to find the kill. All the damage is going to go onto it, but he played it really well. He killed exactly what he needed to. Luciv going to be able to find that damage right there. Right now, Ornn is 1 versus 4 in the middle of these guys. Luciv too low, Wojtek too low. Beautiful play from Lyle Walt right there to go in with the hook, and I believe he flashes after and finds the kill. Ornn's gonna die, Wojtek's gonna die, Luciv is gonna walk away. His team is in absolute shambles. There's nothing left. Great play from the Camille there, who's just so strong, taking over this game.
Yeah, and there's just really nothing that the Chess Club can do. These members are just so far ahead, they're so fed. PictoChat went in, blew up Droid, did so much damage to the rest of the carries. Lyle Walt, on the mean hand, level 17 now. I think he's 3 levels above. Music X is just able to dive in, kill anyone he wants to. Soul, I apologize. Elder is on the map. They send 3 members over to get that. While Lyle Walt finishes off that top in him, they will be able to pick up this without any issue, and most likely this will be the catalyst for the end of the game for them.
Yeah, I think the smart move here is that if you're the Chess Club, you do have to rush this Baron. It's gonna go away. Yeah, I think Luciv right here, he's losing out on time here because he's gonna be clearing that bot wave. I think you have to go rush the Baron and at least get a Baron to compete with the Elder. Unfortunately, I think they're just gonna be giving it. Yeah, there's a lot of times in League of Legends that you can choose to just give and give and give. This ain't one of them. If these guys get Baron, they're going to walk into your base and they're going to kill you all, and they will win the game. So Chess Club has to do something. They have to find a pick. They have to make some kind of proactive play, or else this is going to be silver scrapes.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that play is going to be incredibly difficult to find. They are behind just about 10k here, heading into the 32nd minute of the game. And they're just going to lose every single 5v5, right? The members of Life Up are just so far ahead. It has to be a pick. It has to happen somewhere on the map, right? You're going to have Lyle split pushing. Maybe try to force that out, and maybe try to run over to the Baron to stop it. Not really sure what they're going to want to do. Trying to play around Luciv is the play. He does have 3 items. He is very, very far ahead, but it's just going to be incredibly difficult to try to find some kind of footing to get yourself back into this game.
And you cannot walk into these chokes with a Camille, with a Leona. They're going to start this Baron, and nobody's going to be able to follow up on this. Meanwhile, they're trying to find Lyle Walt. Yeah, unfortunately, when they're not feeling strong, it almost feels like they just don't know what to do. They're kind of just trying to get farm. They're trying to turtle, and unfortunately, with this Elder Baron combo, it sure does look like Life for Appa is going to be able to push down and end the game.
Yeah, and they really can't contest that, right? If they tried to contest the Baron, not only would they lose the 5v fight normally, with Elder, it would almost spell just the immediate end of that fight and most likely the game. So we will have 4 members that are pushing the mid lane. Lyle Walt splitting in bot side per usual, and this could be the last team fight of the game.
Yeah, this could be it. They're going to be able to have to give it up. Lots of damage here. Going to be able to come out from Life for Appa. They do have to go in and find this push, and they're going to get the inhibs. All 3 inhibs are going to be down, but they do have to find something to end it. They have the Baron. I believe they still have the Elder. They should have it for just a little bit longer. Lots of damage here coming out from Life for Appa just by existing. The Nocturnal's going to go down. A nice little Leona ult only hits the Ornn, though. Joa on the front. Oh, and that Seraphine ult basically to miss anyone. Meanwhile, Lyle on the backside goes over the wall, finds so much damage. He's going to get picked up. They actually dive the tower. This is not looking as good as it should, but they're going to be able to finish the game. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, the team's fighting. They tell Chaos, don't worry about this. Dude, just go finish the game. That's exactly what they do, and boy, they are going to send this game to scrapes. That looked like a different team than the one that whatever we saw game 1.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to the way that they drafted this game, right? They wanted to play to their strong suits. They wanted to play to their win calling, right? Lyle Walt did not have the kind of pressure and priority he did have game 1 with the matchup. Gave him the Camille, gave Chanimal the Nocturne, was able to hard carry the game there. Most damage in the game there onto Lyle. I mean, that's what this team needs to do, right? They play to their top side. Just leave the bot lane. Chaos is going to do fine in this matchup because it is not as not difficult as a matchup as it was, or with the most damage. I mean, Music X has been playing as well as he possibly could, even though he's gone solo killed 3 times this game. I mean, he's doing the best he can, and the Chess Cup, had a couple looks here and there, but it was just the individual prowess leading to just a great team kind of play and pressure around the map to lead to that victory.
Yeah, and look at this damage graph right here. Absolutely smurfing. Look at the Camille doing basically double the damage. I just want to point out that when your Ornn does the most damage on your team, you probably aren't having a great time. What do we have to say about that? You're our top lane expert. I know Ornn does damage, but never should be more than that. And it just looked like the no one else was actually able to exist on the chess club throughout the entire game with all that dive.
Yeah, and I think that says a lot for Life for Appa. They targeted the priority members of the chess club whenever possible. Camille was diving into the backline as much as possible. Chanimal was doing the same. They never, ever gave Kaisa a chance to breathe. Droid got blown up in the beginning of the fight so many times. Pito Chat was so far ahead. They did their job. They knew what they needed to do to win these fights, and they executed very, very well. So I think that says a lot for how Life for Appa was able to say, hey, we know how this team likes to play and likes to win. Let's draft a comp so we can counter that. And that's what they did. So I think props to them for being able to do that. That team fight at the end of the game looked a little sus as they dived the fountain, but they were able to say, hey, Chaos just finished the game. We'll be fine. So no harm, no foul.
I respect the hell out of the energy. I will give it to that. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up this right here. We're going to be going into game 3. They have taken it to Silver Scrapes. This is TCL. We wouldn't expect anything different. Certainly not on these semifinals. Tune in shortly. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back, but we are sure to have a great game 3. One of these teams is going home tonight. You think about which one it is. See you all soon.
Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment, now is your time. So prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push to heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up, reach for the summit. Visions brave and one false step lead the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push to heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. It is you fight among the dead beneath the dirt. Or do you know yet? Or do you want it? And when the giants call to ask you what you're worth, or do you know yet? We don't die. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push to heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Prove yourself.
Welcome back, folks. We're here with TCL Life for Appa versus the Chess Club. We're in game 3. As you heard, the beautiful song Silver Scrapes played here to signify that we are going to a full game series. I am joined here on the desk with Sir Aaron, and I gotta say, I don't want to speak for you. I'm really excited. We just watched 2 completely different games, I felt like, where each team played 2 completely different games. And I don't know what we're going to see game 3 after both teams have seen the draft from both sides. What do you think?
I would definitely agree with you. I would have originally thought that this would be an easy 2-0 from Life for Appa. Chess Club definitely surprised me with game 1. I think I expected with how the draft went for game 2. I really don't know what's going to happen for game 3. All I know is I hope it's going to be a slugfest, right? I hope we get a great game 3 series. I hope it goes as it did for game 3 with the Chess Club against Versus the Word this past Thursday. But it could really swing either different direction. I think both teams have shown what they want to do to win. And with the beginning of the game, it could be decided for both of these teams.
Yeah, it sure could here. Here's the thing. As I was saying, like, you don't get a chance to front to back against that level of dive. The Ornn is great. Music X, I think, has been playing almost flawlessly. At the end of the day, he's against a Diamond 2, Camille player who's just going to eat him up. He's going to have the pressure. He's going to be able to go wherever he wants. And we saw it. Lyle Walt taking over the game last game, probably more than we've ever seen him do before across all of the TCL games. What a great time to do it in the semifinals, going into the grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, and I definitely think that it might have been up to just Music X just hasn't experienced the kind of top laner that Lyle Walt is, especially with the Camille into the Ornn. He played Malphite into Gnar and didn't really get any pressure compared to what he did this game. So we will just see the Camille ban this time. Won't be able to see that onto Lyle. Two top lane bans Obviously, the same there for Lefrapa targeting elusive, but already some adaptation right off the bat.
Yeah, what I think right here, like, we have seen that these guys on the chess club, they really need the playmaking support from Droid for that early kill pressure with the Kaisa. The problem is that Kaisa and Seraphine do not play well together in any capacity. They just don't. There's nothing they can really do. Like once you get into those late game team fights, you're in a good spot, but like you don't really have any kill pressure in the lane. And so basically what happens is that the entire lane phase becomes dependent on Wojtek playing really strong against the Kassadin. The problem is he's against a Kassadin. And so top lane's a losing lane, bot lane's a theoretically losing lane. Let's call it even. Yeah, that's your Thresh. It's what you got to do. They're going back to old trusty. Droid has been making game-winning plays on it. That's a smart move from the chess club right there.
Yeah.
Don't pick the Seraphine, pick the playmaker, go win bot lane and play through bot.
100%. And that Seraphine ban from the chess club will definitely help with that. So Thresh will be locked in. Same old bot lane there for Lefrapa, Sivir, and Leona. Can't go wrong. Hopefully we see a little bit more hit ultimates there from the Tranimal. Not from Tranimal, I apologize. From Bush League. Tranimal's one who locked in Leona. But I assume we're going to see the Kaisa here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see either a top lane or mid lane pick for the remaining of round 1.
Yep, you're going to take that Kaisa. It's such a strong ADC. He's showing that he never actually even wanted... it turns out when it comes down to it, he came on the stream, he was talking crap about how the Callista was so strong and totally a good pick. It's left up, he gets the chance to pick it with Thresh, which is probably the best lane, and he goes back to the Kaisa. I think we all know really what the status is of what you should be picking, and he's making the right choice here. They're gonna make sure they get that Ornn because you know that the Ornn and the Cho'Gath bans would come out at the start of the next phase. Once again, I can't help but say these guys are getting everything they want, and they actually have some stuff to help defend against that dive, with the Thresh being a little bit better than the Seraphine at that.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see maybe a more confidence in the top lane maybe matchup. I think we've seen Music X play a lot of Volibear, and he's done it well. And Volibear is a great counter to Camille, at least in the pro scene. That's what we saw last World, and we've kind of see it as much as Camille is picked. So I would have maybe loved to see maybe a potential Sivir ban or maybe another jungle ban from the chess club, and then leave up that Camille in hopes that Lyle Walt will pick it, and then you will just be able to maybe pick the Volibear next round if it's left up. But Red Team will be locked in. Another strong lane matchup. That's going to be another tough lane there for Music X here in game number 3.
Let's see if that Nocturne ban comes out. That's a really, really important, the Tranimal looking like he wants to play it. I think the Kindred ban's going to come out. They really, really don't want to play against the Kindred. The Kassadin. That's interesting. Okay, so they get rid of the Kassadin. I think that's a smart pick because at the end of the day, when you play Syndra, you want to get a lot of that early priority. In the lane was a bit of a stalemate, and then the Kassadin's going to scale way past whatever Syndra could provide late game anyway. This is signaling that they want to probably pick Syndra again. The Ori, I'd say the Ori's going to be banned, so yeah, it's going to be the Syndra. I think I'm almost positive this will be a Kindred ban. I know that they don't want him to play the Kindred. The Kindred's really strong, and he's showing a ton of it. It could be the Nocturne ban, as shown late last game. The Nocturne was good. I don't necessarily know if that was the reason they lost. I'd say they ban the Kindred, and then they go put their mid laner back onto that Syndra for game 3.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that the Kindred ban will be good here, not only for just the strength that Tranimal can play it, but because of the team fight comp that would create, right? And that thing is a very, very strong team fighter. And if you got that, paired it with some kind of, strong mid laner, you would have a very, very tough time in a team fight. Now, they will actually just ban the Nocturne, don't want to see that again. But that also means that this will most likely, they actually will be able to lock in that Kindred, and this most likely means we will probably see the Syndra mid again for Wojtek.
I think we will. This is going to be really interesting how the Kindred goes and survives this. I will say if you're playing a front-to-back team fight and your tanks can get strong, the Kindred's fine. You're not dependent on finding those picks. You're dependent on getting a strong front line in front of everybody. This is going to get be the Rammus locked again. His requisite Sejuani is up. Instead, he goes the Rammus. Good pick against the Kindred. I think that's probably why he did it. You got 2 mega tanks. Let's see what's going to happen as a result of this. I will say the Camille does better against those mega tanks than the Renekton does. The Renekton, obviously, you build armor. There's no true damage built into that. So see, is this going to be the Xerath? Okay. Yeah, he's going to lock Syndra again. Whew. I was a little concerned. The Xerath looks good. He knows how to play it. I just don't think that with that lack of like early pressure that you're going to be able to, it has a lot of those same things like with that artillery mage that you have in like a one threat comp. Yeah, he's going to do a little bit of damage, but yeah, good pick there on the Syndra. Syndra plays really well into Azir too. That's a winning lane. I think the Azir is a really weak champion. It has like a 41% win rate in solo queue right now. Syndra, obviously, not great in the win rate department too, but she definitely wins that lane and gets early priority. And the bot lane's going to have the priority game too. So I think that the chess club is in a much better position to take 2 winning lanes and turn this into a 1 game than they were last game.
Yeah, and definitely playing Xerath would be really, really tough, especially going into that Renekton, right? You ever get on top of you just die immediately. Plus, having all the Azir also for Life for Appa means that they don't have to worry about getting close to the Rammus. Since Rammus would definitely love to go into the Renekton, has to get close to attack. Auto attackers are favored just with the kit of Rammus. So I think there is good and bad to both of these teams' draft, right? I will be curious to see if maybe Ornn gets just a few more resources here in the early games so he doesn't fall behind, because it is a little bit of a tough matchup going into the early stages, but it gets better, obviously, when Ornn gets much tankier. I think Syndra and Azir will be fine. Wojtek played that really, really well last time. PitoChat tried to go for some really, really flashy plays. They worked, and sometimes they didn't, and he got punished. But now, with Droid on Thresh, I expect to see this bot lane to go the same as it did Game 1.
Yeah, well, the question is, typically what's going to happen is the Azir, now that Verdant Barrier is a strong item, you don't have to go and build those early Merc Treads as you traditionally do against Syndra. I still think it's probably good because you're against a Rammus. Up to you. There's a bunch of different directions you can go with that. If he builds the early Banshee's Veil, I will say the Thresh will have a bit of a problem. You're not going to be able to find hooks onto the Sivir or the Azir. Obviously, the Kindred is still an option, but she's got the ult. What you're going to need is Ornn, Music X, to have a good early game and play the game strong. He is going to need to come out tanky as hell to be able to live through all of the damage that happens during the Kindred ult while he's in the middle of the team. And if he can't do that, the Kindred ult keeps them alive, and they will be able to go and win these team fights. So I'm really interested. They don't have the same kind of dive. They're kind of going back to this front to back kind of thing. The Tranimal's Kindred is extremely strong. Honestly, I'm not a jungler. I would suggest, I would assume that Kindred wins this. She can kind of get places. She clears faster. She gets her stacks. But it's Rammus. And Rammus does Rammus things against AD dealing champions, especially auto attackers. So what's your take on this, Mr. Sararin? What do you think happens?
I would say, furthermore, to your point, not only would it be hard to tank all the Kindred damage, but you don't want to give Renekton a free lane, because he's going to be a monster in the team fights, right? He will just dive into the back lane. If he builds Prowler's Claw, he'll just be going on all of your carries, blowing them up immediately. It's going to be rough. I do think Rammus probably does better in the early stages, because there's just going to be 0 damage from Kindred. She can't really get away from you if you taunt her. So I would give probably Rammus the advantage in that sense, but Kindred starts to get her stacks. She starts to get some items. She builds, the Kraken Slayer. She might be able to take down this Rammus until maybe it gets to the late stages of the game.
Well, overall, so here's the question. Here's the question, though, is that, and I thought, I didn't want to call this out in case anyone was cheating and watching. I think it's a little bit trolling that the Sivir was going with the lethality build, because you're up against, I guess that game he was up against 2 tanks. This game he's up against 2 tanks and a Thresh who builds pretty tanky early on in the game. I personally think that if you don't go a traditional ADC build, potentially even with the Kraken Slayer, as you pointed out, I don't think this game works out for you. I think you need to have that DPS that can kill tanks. Lethality ain't it. any of you less experienced League players, you know, people are like, well, what do you mean? Lethality's armor pen. Lethality's flat armor pen. It only is good against people who don't build much armor. Against this kind of tanky comp, I don't think it works out. So we'll see what he does. Yeah, he is signaling with that Dark Harvest, he's going the lethality build. You know, he locked it in. He went to u.gg or op.gg, whatever your tool of choice is, and he went and said, okay, what's the meta build? That's what I'm playing. Maybe it works out if he finds the right queue onto the backline of Luciv and Wojtek. It's all going to have been worth it. If he can't do it and he has to auto tanks the whole game, it's not going to work out for him.
Yeah,
but
I would definitely say that the Kraken Slayer build will probably be stronger. I do think that the standard that you'd expect to see on a Sivir is that kind of lethality meta. It doesn't make sense, I think, at this game. Unfortunately, we'll be going into a short pause. Not sure what the issue will be, but hopefully it will be resolved quickly. But yeah, I think there's just with the 2 tanks and plus Thresh is relatively tanky, you probably want to get some kind of way to get through it. But at least, you know, hopefully you'll have Trundle building the Kraken Slayer, so there is some kind of way to bust through these tanks.
Yeah, I think so too. I think right here, folks, while we wait for this pause, I want to think about the fact that this game, super high octane, super important. What you can be sure of is that whoever loses this game is going home, and they're not going to be going home happy. Everyone wants to get into that finals game. Last season, we had an explosive finals. Tons of people tuned in. It is the game. You can be sure that everyone TCL, their family, Mama Knowles, you get the shout out. I know you're in chat right now. Everyone is tuning in to watch these games, and it's going to be exciting. I don't know that I know who is going to lose this game, but I do know they're going to go home, and it will mark the end of their TCL Season 2. We are here in the game. Big game coming ahead, and I am excited, and I hope you guys are too.
Yeah, and not only that, will they be going home? They'll be going home without any money. Winning this match means you at least win some money.
That's a good point.
So there is money on the line, and there is more on the line for the finals. But going into this game, honestly, I don't know who I give the advantage to, right? Both teams have looked good on some parts, both teams have looked bad on some parts. I think the first 10 minutes of this game decides the match. That's what I would say. Whoever has the lead in the first 10 minutes, I think wins the game. I don't think that lead has to be massive. I just think it has to be a lead. We saw how Game 1 went. TCC got that lead early. They never dropped it. But LFA got the lead Game 2, and they never dropped it either. So I think whoever has the lead at 10 minutes will win this game.
Yeah, I think what's important here is the chess club is looking to sort of like play a slow game, not lose all of the early dragons, and scale up and have Luciv do Luciv things, as he does. I think that the chess club, or that rather Life for Appa, with the Renekton winning the top side, with Tranimal being able to kind of invade wherever he wants, they're going to be looking to make these early plays. And so my mark says that at that 10-minute mark, if the Tranimal hasn't made a couple plays, I think the chess club actually takes this one. I think they have the better front to back. They've got the peel. They've got the big damage carry. Like PictoChat and Chaos Storm are the lowest ranked players on their team, and it happens to be their mid and ADC. And so their team relies on winning early game, you know, making a lot of plays and splitting up team fights. They don't want front to back type stuff. They want to be able to split up these team fights and cause chaos, and that's how they win here. If the chess club can live through that and survive and not lose all the objectives, I think they take it. If the Tranimal can play this aggro style and get in and find some kills early, exactly what you said, we'll know at 10 minutes. I believe he wins.
Yeah, productivity is definitely important, and we saw how the productivity of Rookstout, especially with all 5 of the members back in the bot tower pre-6, and with the productivity that Tranimal had playing
Rookstout coming, he's going to be able to find this gank here. He's making sure he gets all the movement speed. PictoChat used all his soldiers. The stun is going to miss. Is it going to matter here? Wojtek does not have the stun. He completely misses. I think if Wojtek waits on that stun, they find the kill there.
Yeah, if Sky of the Week lands, he can only cleanse from one of those, so he would not be able to cleanse the taunt there from Mana, so he would definitely die.
It's going to be a counter gank mid lane. The Kindred is sitting over the wall. I think, unfortunately, PictoChat would have to find this slow onto it, and the Tranimal would have to walk up with the red buff and hopefully find it. I don't see a world where this game. Well, the lane is pushing. I will say the lane's pushing. Yeah, the Tranimal realizes he needs to go and actually keep this farm up and make sure that he is beating the Rammus early. And so he's going to leave.
Yeah, even though the lane is pushing, there really isn't any hard CC at this point for Kindred or for Azir. So if Syndra lands a Scout of the Week, she gets out scot-free, still has a flash. So wouldn't be the best gank, but at least maybe if you build a flash, that gives you a potential for a re-gank later.
In this early lane priority, funny enough, Wojtek, I don't know if it's mana or whatever, but the Azir able to come and back up the Tranimal, make sure that they get that early Scuttle Crab, and then they can sort of invade. And Picto has to leave lane to make sure that he keeps the priority up.
Yeah, definitely. And right now in this early stage of the game, there really hasn't been too much done, right? There's only been the one proactive gank there from Rookstout, Trunmal maybe just sitting in for a potential. We do have the invade, though, from Rookstout taking the Gromp there. But I can't remember if... I think Kindred did roll the Scuttle. She does have the one mark so far, so at least she got off to a good start building up the mark stack.
And look at that topside vision. They've got the Scuttle vision. Lyle just roamed down and found a ward right in that top lane blue opening right there. And then go and look at that next ward that's about to expire. Like, literally, it is impossible to gank this guy. Every single entrance you could go after, unless you go over the blast cone and, like, hug the Gromp wall, is completely taken there. Man, that's scary. I mean, these guys win topside hard. That's no surprise to anybody that's watching this game right now.
Yeah, definitely vision control is very, very impressive, right? They want to play to their advantage, play to their strong top side. So just stack all the wards there to make sure that there's no potential gank. But Kindred right now looking for a lane gank as she's moving into this top push.
Oh, look at that ward there from Music X. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know if he placed that. Well, the Renekton definitely didn't see him, so he might be like Giga 2000 brain expecting that lane gank to come through. Great look there from Music, and ends up feeling totally happy about that. Good job, Music X. This guy is continuing to impress me throughout this entire series.
Yeah, but on the other hand, this will mean, with the vision of the jungler, that is a free Ocean Dragon for them. Did have the mid priority, did have the bot roam up, so this would be an easy Ocean Dragon for the chess club. Right
there, you see the power of a single ward. They find the jungler topside. Even if he never walked up because he was scared, the Kindred would have never left the bush, and they wouldn't have known that they were safe. That single random word actually let them know that the Kindred was in no place to go contest the dragon, and they get their first dragon. And guess what I was saying? All they're looking to do is make sure they don't lose soul at 24 minutes like last game. Well, that's a great way to make sure you just pushed it back 6 minutes.
Yeah, and this is a really solid start for the chess club, right? They've been making some decent proactive plays, got the first dragon. This at least slows down the soul by 5 minutes. Probably will, if this goes similar, they'll be able to maybe pick up a second dragon just simply off of their bot priority. And Music X hasn't died yet, is playing into a matchup where he's only down a few farm. Chartwell hasn't really found any good advantage yet just because it is difficult to find a gank. So right now, really good from the chess club.
Yeah, I will say, man, the fact that the mid diamond top laner isn't being able to find these massive CS differences onto Music is absolutely huge because they're going to try to attack this weak side of the map, and he ain't making it look like the weak side of the map. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, but we will have a lot of counter jungling here, as we did see beforehand. Chanwell did invade the top side with Rookstout on the bot side, but knowing that these camps are respawning, Chanwell will come back top, picks up the mark there onto the Gromp. Well done, as Rookstout is just now getting to his top jungle.
Yeah, it almost looked like Trano wanted to dive, but I think he's going to complete his B. Interesting there, I thought they could have dove. He did just get level 6 off that Gromp, so worst case scenario, you probably just get out and walk through, walk up to the turret. They obviously don't know where the Rammus is. You got to be, worried about that counter gank. But yeah, he's going to go in. He's going to get that stack. I believe that is 2 stacks for him at this point. And the Kindred is going to look to scale up, which is fine. Chess Club is totally fine, just chilling through this early game.
Yeah, it might have been a bit of a difficult dive, especially since the Ornn would have had...
Oh, this is going to be a gank coming in onto the Azir. Yeah, ultimately Azir is going to save a soldier. Oh, and now Rook might be actually caught out in a little bit of a bad place. I think he needed to go down into where Wojtek is. TP will come up through the Ornn. The question is will he die quick enough? Now the Ornn's kind of in a weird place. Yeah, well, Lyle Walt going to go through. He's going to be able to proc that, procs the ult, breaks the stun out of him. Music does flash out. I don't think Music had to flash out there because Lyle had used all of everything he had there. But meanwhile, we've got a fight in the bot lane. Luciv gets ignited. Droid gonna try and get some damage back onto it, but the ignite ultimately gonna make sure that he can't finish this. Oh, and a double hit there from Chaos, gonna make sure that Luciv cannot stay and cannot easily fight. Well, it does look like he's gonna stay, but if he caught him again, it might not look so good for Luciv here. Hook is gonna land onto the Leona. I think ultimately, I don't think you want that anyway. I almost want to see Droid using the hooks onto Chaos, baiting the spell shields, because look at where Chaos is. The worst case scenario is that you get the spell shield, and then you walk up and you flame and you kill him anyway. You still have Ignite. So...
And Leona definitely wants you to engage upon her, right? She doesn't want to be the first one to engage. She has more potential to just get on top of your carry if the hook lands onto you and then you engage there. But that was a good 2v2. It was in favor of...
Droid not reading the writing on the wall. He has to... He just traded that last hit of the ward for a flash. Wasn't worth it, brother. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him after the game and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but going back to what happened topside, I'm not... At least not topside, but I'm not sure that Music X really needed the TP in there, as Wojtek and Rookstout were able to disengage that fight pretty easily. But this means that with the Prio and with Lao Walt roaming down, he will be able to give this scuttle again over the channel.
Yeah, he sure is, and Trainwell really wants these. This is another one of those. Let's see, can we go back to scoreboard and look at Kindred and see how many stacks she has? That is 3 stacks, I believe I read. I can't tell if that's 3 or 5. I believe that's
3 stacks.
Yeah, that's 3 stacks. Okay, so she does get the major buff once she gets 4. That's what she's going to be looking for. And if she finds the next kill on a gank, she's going to be really happy.
Yeah, and 3 stacks at 10 minutes is really, really good. Not being able to go to the correct scale to deny, having the Kindred invade you and then get the same scuttle mark is really, really good. Unfortunately, Team Chess Club is not really playing around the marks to be able to deny those. So Kindred right now is just getting some free marks.
Oh, man. Lyle ults, it's because they're looking for the dive. Music X definitely feeling really tanky. He's going to have to outplay. This wouldn't be the first time that he outplayed a dive, but he's not going to have flash this time. He's going to go back into his turret. Lyle Walt not going to die because the Kindred does have the ult to keep him alive. Really good dive, really well executed, almost outplayed. I think Music did everything he could. Well, he didn't ult, so I won't say that. Maybe he had an opportunity to ult there, but yeah. Ultimately, great play by the Tranimal and great call getting that Herald down and getting some gold into this Renekton's hands.
Yeah, I think it would have made it interesting if he did ult a little bit earlier. Maybe that would have cleared the wave a little bit faster. Maybe a few extra tower shots on some of the members could have resulted in the kill. But because of the pressure topside, again, the Chess Club will get the Dragon bot side. That sets them up for, unfortunately, just a Cloud Soul. But hey, it is a win con, so they are building to something. Haven't really gotten that much pressure. Topside, Music X has been doing a pretty good job. Unfortunately, the tower will fall, though, with him being on the reset, no TP. So, good on the dive and good on the proactive response there from both sides.
Well, whenever you see Kindred ult, you got to remember that champ does not build much cooldown reduction. And it's a long ult at the beginning of the game, and so every time she does something like that, you kind of got to look at it like, all right, she otherwise is just a squishy ADC. What can I do in between now and the next time that she uses that ult? Or rather, between now and when her ult's back up again, what fights can you force? That's what I want to see here from the Chess Club to make sure that they keep this Kindred from snowballing and going wherever she wants.
Yeah, and obviously having Rookstout in these fights is going to help immensely. Right? Just being able to taunt the Kindred, stop the potential for...
Oh boy, Rookstout gets his Powerball canceled. Lyle Walt's gonna go in, gonna be able to find the double dash and the stride breaker, which he already has. Ornald's gonna come out, but this is a 2v4. Yeah, you're gonna have to leave. There's not much you can do about this. Yeah, unfortunately Rammus just has to leave from there. Music X bellows breath right into Lyle Walt. Shows him that he ain't scared, but I'd be scared because this team owns the top side of your jungle.
Yeah, I think that was maybe more of a preemptive, or maybe just it was a little bit too soon of an ult to use. I guess it was maybe just to make sure that Rookstout could get out. Okay, I'm not really sure they were looking for a fight, but so zoning alt at least keeps Rookstout alive regardless. So he won't have to risk anything. Could get the scuttle. Trundle will get that again. I think Trundle's gotten almost every scuttle this game. He's up several camps there on Rookstout, so he's doing very, very well in that regard.
Interesting. I want to call out almost like a 45 farm difference. Yeah, 44 farm difference there in the mid lane. Look at the Syndra, who is just so far up. That's leading to over 1,000 gold just by itself. Neither of them have any kills or assists. And actually, you got to be reminded that the Azir has the benefit of some of that team gold from the first tower. So yeah, Wojtek, and I don't know what he's doing to this guy, but looking really, 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 really good on this Syndra, keeping the Azir from scaling into the mid game.
Yeah, I think that gank early really helped, right? Having that flash blown meant that Pito Chat, also with Cleanse blown, had to play this lane safe, right? He couldn't ever walk up, because if he gets scattered, he will die from the burst of the ultimate. So really, really impactful ult here, or gank here from Rookstout originally.
And we might see the Kindred looking for a gank bot side. Most notably, bot is your win condition. They're doing fine, they're farming, but I have not seen much of Rammus bot, into this sort of like early mid game here. And I definitely like to see if Tranimal could go and abuse these guys. Obviously he doesn't want to play a whole lot towards his bot, because they're not typically the lane that shows up to carry. But man, if you put Lucid behind, I'd hate to see how the rest of this game goes for him.
Yeah, and Tranimal, obviously, just going for more invades. He's been very, very good at looking for some kind of advantages by invading the Rammus, making sure that he cannot get just, a free farm in his jungle. He will get the mark topside though, unfortunately, so Kindred cannot get another one that way. But we will have, I think, the dragon spawning soon, so they might be wanting to look for their third dragon of the game.
He's also 2 levels up on the Rammus, and the Rammus is like trying his best to get farm. It's not like he's like ignoring it. It's not like he's been like spam ganking. In fact, I believe every time I've seen him on the map, he's been farming, and yet the Tranimal is almost 30 CS up on him. He's 2 levels up. Sorry, actually currently 3 levels up on Rookstout. Tranimal with 1 kill. All the CS is 3 levels up on Rookstout, who's just trying to make sure that he becomes tanky enough to help the rest of his team. So this is exactly what we hope to see out of the Tranimal's Kindred here.
Yeah, and he wants to prove himself as the best jungler in TCL, right? Making sure that he's going for every single thing he can, stealing away every camp possible. And right now he's doing that, right? TJ, unfortunately, is no longer here to be able to fight for that cause, and Tranimal, with his performance this game, could make that statement.
Let's entertain the TCL fans right here. Who is the best jungler in TCL?
I definitely think it will be on the one of the 2 of the finalist teams. So if not Tranimal, could be Rookstout, or it could be the jungler of Team Monkey Brains. But we do have the Cloud Dragon spawn, so this will definitely be a team fight over this this Dragon 4, the potential 4 soul point.
Sure is looking like it, but man, I gotta say, Wojtek in just a horrible position right here. He had to go and finish up that wave. Lyle Walt knows it. He knows exactly where he's gonna go. He's gonna go on to Wojtek. Wojtek will have to flash over the wall, unquestionably. He hasn't got it off yet. I believe he has flash. Yeah, he uses it at the end. That's a bold, I gotta say, the cojones on this man from Wojtek, not flashing over the wall when he had it that entire time. Absolutely insane. He's gonna stay alive through that. The Renekton flank ain't gonna work out. Leona's gonna go in, but at what cost? She gets just about nothing done. Pictochat with the Emperor's Divide gets a ton of people off from that. Lucid in the backline. Red team still gonna be able to get the dragon, but they're going the wrong way, buddy. You're not supposed to be there. Rookstout trying to find a CC. He's gonna get picked off right at the very beginning. It's by Tranimal. He's not. He's got almost nothing left. Flashed over the wall from Droid. Lucid gets all the Q damage onto Pictochat. Chaos Storm, the only remaining member of his team, but these guys are out for blood. Lucid goes over the wall. He wants more. He's got the flash. I think he does. It should be up soon. He doesn't want to use it, but he will if he have to, because this man is bloodthirsty. He's going to get out. Bush League respawns just in time to watch his bot lane partner and teammate perish. Great fight there from the chess club.
And I think that fight was so very close, right? Lyle really expertly played to recognize that Wojtek was not in that fight, went for the kill. Unfortunately, was not able to finish him off. Wojtek holds on to the flash, doesn't even flash towards his teammates, Lets the Orange get that ultimate for the knockup. CC there from Droid with the hook, blows him up immediately. Okay, 4v5. Luciv played that fight expertly. Picks off 2 members. Trenmal blew his ultimate to keep himself alive. Picks up the dragon at the very least, so he denies Soul Point, but his team gets wiped. So, 5 kills to 1 now. They have a 1k gold lead for Team Just Club, and this is exactly where they want to be.
I gotta say, the person who actually won that entire thing was Wojtek, which is funny because it's like I made this joke, like Wojtek forgot to do his homework and then the school burned down before he had to submit it. Like that's what happened right there. That's how lucky he got. He is running into a Renekton who should kill him, 99 times out of 100. He doesn't auto flash over the wall. I don't know if he's baiting. I don't know if he knew exactly how much damage it was going to be, but he keeps the Renekton there for long enough for his team to show up. The Renekton would have just run away if he flashed over the wall. He lives with 50 HP, goes over the wall, they kill the Renekton, and they clean up the fight after that. So Wojtek, whether intentional or not, that man just smurfed that fight and kept that alive for his entire team.
Yeah, at least though, because they were able to pick up the Rift Herald, they immediately popped that in the mid lane. We'll be able to take down this mid tier 1, but we'll have some trades here in the top side. Trenmal is on that blue buff. We'll be able to
Look at the Renekton. Look at the Renekton trying to do damage to this Ninja Tabi Bramble Vest. Oh man, that's awesome.
Trenmal, I guess, will take a tower shot, maybe looking for more here, but there is nothing left for him. Ornn is just really, really tanking now, so he will be able to withstand all this pressure given to him. But yeah, I think it goes to show that Lyle he was so strong in his team at that moment in the game, had the completed Gore Drinker, and unfortunately, because he was not able to blow up Wojtek, wasn't able to stay alive in that fight, wasn't able to maybe get a really, really good team fight, which led to the Chess Club being able to just have a great fight off the back of the work of Luciv and co.
Yeah, Luciv loves, if I would characterize his Kai'Sa play, actually the Leona going in, gets Threadshook, tries to find the ult. I don't know who was there to back it up. But yeah, both parties are going to run away. No, if I would characterize Luciv's Kai'Sa, you will rarely ever see him building that Kraken Slayer. He wants the Gale Force, and I would say more than almost any Kai'Sa player I've ever seen, he will take the earliest ults possible. He doesn't care. He's not scared of whatever happens when he gets there. He will always take those early ults, and he will go for them. So, I got to say, that kind of play is looking out for him. But Music X going in. The flash is going to come out. Lyle Walt ultimately going to get missed by that Aura ult. The rest of the team's trying, and look at this Rammus running 3,000 miles an hour trying to catch him. Ultimately, Lyle Walt will have to ult and flash out to make sure he doesn't get picked up by the chest bucket.
Yeah, they will now rotate over to the top river, pick up this Scuttle, stop it from Tremblin getting another one for his collection. We will have Baron spawn, and it will be on the map, but a little bit too early, I think, for either of these teams to pick up. I think Dragon will be spawning in about a minute, so that will be another chance for the Chess Club to pick up Soul Point. We'll love to, have them get it to further push their lead, but hopefully maybe we'll be able to see a potential pick-off from the Lifer Appa to maybe stop that the Chess Club has right now.
Absolutely correct. In this, yeah, they didn't get that last dragon. They did get 4 kills at the time, and they already got 2 of them. They're in a really, really good place to make this dragon win condition happen. I gotta say, having that movement speed, like on the Kai'Sa ult, for example, it's still a really good soul for Kai'Sa because she can go in and just chase people down and dodge skill shots and keep herself alive. A lot of people like to talk about how the soul is irrelevant. It really isn't. Movement speed is one of the best abilities in the game. Movement speed, rather, is one of the best stats in the game. But none of that's going to matter, and actually the movement speed isn't going to be a good enough stat because they don't have any. If these guys are going to be able to take this Baron, looks like they're not. They have been caught out. Droid walks across mid lane, makes sure they got the vision. And I like the call from the Tranimal, but almost wish he would have seen it through or just waited, made the team come to him.
Yeah, and that was a really, really good call, right? If they're going to go for the Soul Point, trade that with Baron. Unfortunately, that means they leave mid lane unattended.
Luciv is too far forward. Although, now I'm going to say that the Animal's too far forward. He gets hooked out of his ult. Beautiful play there. Tower's going to get spawned. It's not going to matter. Music X is happy to tank these once his minions die. The Tranimal gets caught trying to make a play onto Luciv. Unfortunately, he needed to know when that play was over, and he didn't. He stayed too long. Lyle Walt able to find this tower damage, so it's not like they're not going to get anything for it, but Rook Stout right here, this whole time, not even participating. Now look at Droid and Syndra here. The question is can Droid and the Syndra do anything against this Renekton? It looks like the team's going to abandon. They're just going to take it up into mid. They're going to let the Renekton do whatever they want. They want to find a pick. They want to kill this guy. They actually just found Azir. And I think we missed it, but they found him under turret with some kind of pick. And the Azir's dead. And the Azir died with Cleanse Up. So I don't know what just happened, but it looks like it's going to turn into some kind of Baron play. Meanwhile, Lyle Walt is TPing back. He wants to buy an item so that he can TP into this Baron. They know what's coming. They know what's happening. Interestingly, the Kindred finishing red buff. I don't know if they have the vision onto it, but all of the damage. Chaos Storm actually looks like he's going to live. Oh my god, look at Luciv. Yeah, Luciv takes the Void Seeker, finds it on the low Chaos Storm. Chaos Storm, Mr. President's. The Tranimal dives in front of the bullet. He's going to die. Tranimal will live, but they're going to get a Baron off of that. And boy, they are in a good position to take this series home and put themselves in the finals tomorrow night, Sunday, at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and that was a really, really good ward that they had in that River Bush, right? Chaos Storm walks up right into the hook of Droid, followed with the Scatters of the Weak, barely lives. Tranimal already low HP, gets chunked out too. Really, really great Void Seeker from Luciv, takes him down. And yeah, I mean, I think this would go exactly as I think you said, right? If there wasn't any practice play there from the Tranimal, if Ripsal had some good looks, then they would be able to win this game. And off that one team fight, they are in such an incredible position. They have Soul Point, they got the Baron, they took down, picks even with that. So right now, the Trust Club is looking like they want to be the one to go into the finals to match Team Monkey Brains.
Well, it sure does here, and I will say, I don't always like to see it when the Kaisa has all the kills. It actually doesn't matter. Music X gonna go be able to find two right there. The Kindred has just enough time. Luciv, you better get into that Kindred ult. Make sure that you get the heal at the end of that Bush League. Gonna get absolutely popped. The ult is gonna come through. TP comes onto Lyle. He's gonna be able to go over and take the shield onto it. I don't think Lyle's gonna be able to find that kill, but he does find the Rammus at the end of that. He will get popped. Luciv is alive, and he is not gonna die on this particular game today. Good play right there from Luciv, the man that's now, I believe, 8-0. Yeah, he ain't going down. A little bit too far forward, but his team is there to back him up. Picto Chat absolutely ints. Dives into the enemy team. I don't even know if he meant to do that. That's one of those nerves at the end of the game kind of things. Luckily, he had Flash to get out of that, but oh man, that could have marked the end of the game right there if Picto died.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. But he will Emperor's Divide them away, flashes out, so I guess he's gonna live. Has to get back into the fountain to reset, but yeah, unfortunately, getting only one kill back is not going to help you get back into this game.
This Ornn, absolutely tanky as hell. Music X just playing a beautiful game against these better players. I think he just tanked something like 15, 20 turret shots that we saw right here. Like, turrets don't mean anything to him. He's got the Thorn Mail, he's got the plated steel caps, he's got the Sunfire. This is about as terrifying as an Ornn can get.
Yeah, and it is about a 4K gold lead right now, I think just under 4K, 11 kills to the 2. All those kills are on Tranimal, so if there was one person I guess you would want them on, I think the Kindred is fine, especially with this animalization, right? Has a Gale Force.
Oh, they're going to be going onto this midline. Chaos Storm completely caught out. You can't be there, brother. That's not a good time for that to happen. These guys are going to push it in with the Baron. The dinner bells are ringing. They're ready to go. They're taking it home, and I think they're saying, I want to play League of Legends on a Sunday. Chaos, not so much himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, this spell show can only help you with one of the CC that the Chess Club has, so this will be a free inhibitor for them. I don't believe they have enough damage to end the game. They actually want to go for it, though.
We're going to find out. I mean, here's the thing. Like, they don't really have a whole lot to lose. They better not die, so they got to know when to disengage here. They find all of the damage. Look how quickly they're killing these towers. This could mark the end of the game and the end of the season for Tranimal and his team. They're going to find the damage. They're going to get the double kill. This guy is so absolutely huge. The Rammus chunking out. This is going to be the end of the game. This might be the end of Life for Appa's series, but they're going to be fighting back. They're going to be going in deep. Flywalt says, I don't want this to end right here. He does find a kill. The Tranimal now 1 versus 3. Can he do it? He can't find it. This is the end of the season for Life for Appa in a brilliant finish for the Chess Club, for the Captain Joa, and that will mark the end of the game.
And what a way to finish that game. No fear, full confidence, dive them at their Nexus towers. Doesn't matter. Pick off Chaos Storm, get the carry, end the game. That is a way to make a statement.
Oh my god, a statement was it. Some of the most incredible League of Legends I've seen played in TCL, played from this chess club team. They were all on it together. Every single play we saw this game. I already know who my MVP is, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I think I can guess who your MVP is. I think we've had Luciv on the we've had Luciv on this for too long. He's boring. I think we need to bring in the unsung hero, the consistency of our top winner in music.
Exactly right.
Who actually outdamaged the entire team again.
Oh man. Oh, this guy is absolutely insane. We're going to pull him in here. This is going to be a solo interview. None of this, we can't choose who it was. We know who it was. Music X was absolutely the MVP of this. Music X, you were here. You were in front of about 50 viewers right here on the TCL. You just played an incredible series. How are you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling great. I've almost dukeyed on every top laner in TCL, and it's Tokimon's turn.
Yeah, Zolik here in chat wants to know what is Droid feeding you each of these games, or it could be Joe, it could be Droid, but they're feeding you something. You're popping off in these late playoff matches.
Dude, honestly, it's don't eat music, and music wins, because at the end of the day, I scale, and I know what to do. I know what to do with my scale. I know how to protect my teammates.
Well, some of the best things that I think you did. I mean, you were in some relatively losing matchups, and you did a great job of keeping the wave in front of your tower. Any top laner who wants to understand the concept of lane management, rewatch this series. Don't just go up there and use all your abilities on the wave. If you're in those kind of losing matchups and you want to know how to play, you go and you freeze it like that. I thought you did a great job that series. How's the team feeling?
Dude, the team, honestly, it was great first game. We had hype energy. It was A-Barn standard energy. And then the second game was a little rough. And then the third game, we kind of just brought it back. We were a little bit quiet in the beginning, and then once we got our bearings, we kind of just popped off. So
well, yeah, kind of says the least. That last game, we've seen good Kindred played out of the Tranimal when they locked in that Kindred and started playing with a lot of that like early game priority. Were you guys scared, or did you have a game plan through that entire thing?
No, I voiced an opinion saying I don't really care if he picks Kindred, because most of the junglers keep trying to just gank me, and like that's their whole MO, right? And I can't really do anything about that. But all I have to do, like, to remedy as much as I can or mitigate as much as I can, all I have to do is just play ridiculously safe under turret. If they don't kill me early, I'm just gonna pop off eventually. So
you already did. You could give my man Hippogriff a lesson on how to play weak side. You did it well, you did it strongly, and you won the game. Game two.
Little rough.
Well, you guys played like crap. Let's call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
I agree.
What happened, and what happened after you guys had an incredible game 1 and incredible game 3? It's like the crap hamburger in the middle of the of the 2-game bun. What happened?
I think our team was just on some adrenaline, on some hype, on some testosterone. I don't know. Like we saw some plays and we were gonna execute it, but we failed to, and a bunch of that mistakes was what led to us losing. And once we figured that out after game 2, it was more like we can't make those same mistakes, and we've played very, very carefully. And I love what my team did. They're awesome.
Yeah, and we saw how the draft happened to maybe give that more of a focus and priority on your top side, right? Mm-hmm. Starting from the game 1 matchup, now we had the game 2 Camille and the Nocturne, who just dove you relentlessly. This time, though, you made sure that you played it slow, played it smart, because the one thing they say is we can teach, anyone can be taught how to lane. The one thing they can't be taught is how to team fight. And you team fight all of these so very well, right? You had more damage than the enemy team 2 games in a row, right? Even when your team lost, you had the most damage in the game.
Oh, really?
Going into the finals of TCL, how do you expect, or what do you as a player hope to do going against the strength of Team Monkey Brains?
So I think we have a formula to play against Team Monkey Brains. I can't say what it is exactly because that's giving away strats. But what I can say is that if we take that secret sauce, if we take that chemical X, and we apply it to our play style and our draft and everything else, and it all goes according to plan, we can beat Team Monkey Brains. I believe it. We have done it once, although both Monkey and Elusive were not here. But I believe we can do it again. Our team can actually do it, even though people believe that we were 7th place.
And I think it's important to add, of all the top laners in TCL, Pokemon Panda is one of the lowest ranks of those. You just beat Blood, a Diamond 4 top. You just beat Lyle Walt, a Diamond 4 top. Now you're going against barely a Gold 4 top. Is this the game where you show us what top gap really means?
It could be. It all depends on Papa Joa.
Papa Joa. Always depends on Papa Joa.
If Papa Joa gives me the green light, I will give the green light. But also, we always can play respectfully. I feel like we've been able, even if I don't top gap, Tokimon is an impressive NAR player, an impressive player overall. It's just, even if I don't top gap him, I believe our team fight is still much better because we play those team fights like absolute apes, but like smart apes,
Smart apes.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as you're smarter than the next best ape. All right, music. Well, that's going to wrap up our interview. Congratulations on the win. Get ready to play tomorrow. Big reminder to everybody, it's daylight savings time tomorrow, so make sure your clocks are set right. Your phone does that for you. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern, not 8 p.m. Eastern. We've got a best of 5 plus 1. It's going to be a great series. Music, thank you so much for joining us, and great games.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Last thing I want to say here, big thank you to the Tranimal and his team who participated in it. Big thank you to Bloodbath and Beyond, Diverted the Word crew, everyone else who was in the playoffs. It takes a lot to go and hang out, make friends with people you wouldn't usually be friends with and play in the TCL and get put on a team and show up week to week to week and do it with class and with sportsmanship. And big thanks to everybody who has participated this season. And unfortunately, these are some of the best TCL teams we got, but someone had to go home, and the same thing is going to happen tomorrow. Sir Aaron, any final thoughts before we log off tonight?
Yeah, I mean, all these games have been fights from the beginning to the very end. No team has gone down without a fight. They've taken at least one game. They've shown their strengths, but unfortunately, it just comes down to who can come together as a team. As Music said, apes are strong, but they are stronger together. But the one thing that this proves with a Team Monkey Brains and Chess Club means that I believe the Dog Conference is the superior conference in the TCL this year.
Well, it sure sounds like that might be the case. That's definitely how it ended up here. The second top team beat the top team of the bad conference there, so you would be correct about that. All right, folks, that's going to mark the end of tonight. We had an awesome series, and we hope you had as much fun as we did. Once again, we will be live tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to be there. We're going to make sure the stream is special, fun for everyone. We're going to include some more people. And I hope you all have a great time. So we're logging off today, but thank you for joining us.